All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters. And joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode number 73.
Let's get it.
We're getting so close to our last podcast where we stopped, I think, around 91,
91, yeah. Gotta beat that record.
Yep, 73, man. So close. 100 Club coming up.
What's going on?
If you guys want to buy some official Media Hijack t-shirts, head over to themediahijack.com. Grab you a t-shirt. Also, Reddit. We're trying to be more active on there. So
Yes.
if you guys like using Reddit, go to our Reddit page, The Media Hijack, and just follow the page.
Share anything.
And share stuff. We want to see funny stuff, too.
Even political shit. We just share anything.
Share anything.
I be sharing, like, cops punching people and
Man,
fucking ghosts on porches and shit.
that shit is wild.
Like, ghost orbs.
Yeah.
Like,
Post anything. Fights, zombies,
anything.
UFOs. I want to see some new UFO stuff.
Yes. And Reddit, this is a spot for it, in my opinion. But
Reddit is like the fucking Wild West right now.
it is.
A little too wild sometimes. I'm almost like, hey, man, did the dark web creeped up on this shit?
You catch some wild shit on Reddit now.
It's wild.
Well, actually, Reddit's always kind of been like that, but now it's kind of like I'm waiting for when big government is going to crack down on that shit.
That is the government.
Like they did with Tumblr and shit. Because Tumblr can't even show porn anymore, I don't think. So
I never
used it, Tumblr. That wasn't really my thing, but
Yeah, those are like for like
anime
bloggers.
Oh,
people that have an opinion about everything.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much like everything.
Everything.
else.
Pretty much like everything.
Like, what about you guys? Yeah, same thing. Same thing. Also, replay for our video for this live podcast. Check out youtube.com/YouTube. Yeah. / I don't know. I don't even think we have a page name, but I'll put the links down for you guys.
I think it might be /Media Hijack, right?
No, you have to get like at least 100 subscribers or something.
Just for that? Jesus.
Just to get like a real like
official
name. I was like, it might take a while.
Like nobody pays attention to YouTube shit.
You know, there's one dude a long time ago. He asked me about my old YouTube page, right?
Yeah.
Where I only have like 500 subscribers. And then,
I'm one of them.
He was like, hey man, how do you like get more subscribers? I was like, you asked the wrong guy. I was like, I've been doing this shit for like a long time. I never fucking made it, you know?
In the infancy of the internet.
If you could look at direct message, you can see where, you know, I was being honest. Like, yeah, you asked the wrong guy. And then I look at his stuff. I was like, you know, you're doing everything right. Like, just keep doing it. And your shit's going to blow up. Like, I looked, I was like, yeah, like, you're doing it right. Like, just keep doing it. Just make, like, better thumbnails. I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because you already got the cool content. I was watching. I was like, you're a fucking funny-ass dude. I was like, you got it, dude.
Damn, that's cool.
And he's like, man, thanks, man. I was like, I want to catch up to you. I was like, don't even look at me as, like, somebody you should catch up to. Like
maybe you could give me
I'm
tips.
the worst example. Like, all I can say is, like, your shit is good. You know, you're doing it right. You're doing, like, the same content you're doing. My shit was, like, all over the place. So it was ridiculous.
I used to be sub to your old YouTube channel.
Yeah, because we used to do, like, little skits and shit. But then, you know, that shit's hard to keep up with.
I think you did a song one time on there.
Yeah, a lot. But, you know how many subscribers he got now? He's actually kind of famous now.
No.
Over 100,000.
God damn.
This is less than a year. I look back at his page like, what the fuck just happened? Like, this kid blew up.
So should we get tips from him now, or
I want to get him on the show because we're supposed to get him on the show and shit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Because he does like all this funny like dating advice and dating tips and shit.
Oh shit.
It's a camera delay. Hold on. Could you talk to them real quick?
Oh yeah, I like that. That's a good. Gives me hope for everybody, man. With shit like that. But damn, if he's doing everything right, man, that's good. It's like you inspired him to keep going. You know, is he that Asian dude from before? Is it the same Asian guy? I think you showed me. I think I might be sub to him.
Yeah, I think you are.
I think you showed me his shit like a while ago. Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, so he's doing like really good, and I'm proud of him, man.
Yeah, good shit.
Like I knew it's funny. I watched. I was like, this. You got some funny ass shit. Like he's young too, but then I was like, man, you're speaking some real shit, and it's funny as hell.
I wonder how you came across us. Shit.
Well, I knew him a long time ago before he did all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
All right. So today's main topic, I forgot. We're gonna be talking about mental health and psychotherapy, or like personality traits. And I'm going to talk about the methods people use to get out of these type of depression and stuff instead of using medication like antidepressants, which is a no-no. And I'm going to talk about certain treatments that doesn't involve fucking psychedelics, but I'll talk about the psychedelic part, which
it's a given.
The world needs to know.
It's a given.
The world needs to know. All right, I'll let you start with your mental health, but I'll just jump in when I can.
Okay. Let me see. Where's my fucking notes? There we go. I put all of it. All right. So I think the reason why we thought of this topic too, well, actually, another thing that crossed my mind too, want to do an episode about mental health is, for one, a person recently, not that I knew him personally, but somebody I may have talked to every now and again in passing or whatever. Well, he just wound up committing suicide, like I think last week or the week before, something like that. And
somebody that you knew?
Yeah. And so with me, every time something like that happens, my brain thinks about what, like I like put myself in their shoes of what led them down to make this choice, that where somewhere in their mind they couldn't see past possibly a temporary problem in their life or something. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention too, I noticed how, well, also too, like with recently where in the news they're talking about like with social media being a huge issue with a lot of mental health, especially with like younger people as well too, especially like Zoomers, I guess I think they called, just like teenagers and all that. So that's the reason why I want to pick in this episode.
Zoomers, they're born like what?
Before us and all that. So I mean after us,
like
so
1995ish, right?
Like 95, 96, I guess, or something after that,
or 2000. Might be 2000.
Is it 2000? Because I know it's like with the two. I know for as millennials, it's I think 1980 to 95. It's like 15 years. So maybe,
okay.
Yeah, it's maybe like something like around that, something like that. But yeah, it was something I just wanted to talk to, and it's like it's a thing that I think a lot of people need to talk about a lot more with social, just with mental health in the long run. Because to me, that's why I started backing off of social media a whole lot more. I mean, I show memes every now and again, but I notice over time how, when it comes to people and their connection with social media, like the best thing I could really paint the picture of it is if anybody's seen a Black Mirror episode when that chick is trying to get fucking mad points for like getting likes and shit, was like, it kind of made you like
it raised up your social
status
credit.
yeah, that type of shit. So if you got like a lot of likes because you did something nice to somebody, it's a very, so over time I started noticing that, I mean, social media is a very fake, and it's a very, I think it's very helpful for a lot of things, such as like it employs a lot of damn people for one, and it does like, it helps people have communications and talk to each other online. But for the most part, it's a very dog eat dog flex type shit, where I'll see people post stuff on social media, and my first reaction is, I know you two, and I've had to stop you two as a couple from trying to fucking kill each other, but on social media they play this, hey, we're this loving couple. And I'm like, man, if they only knew. Like, but it's like, I know the trouble that people go through, and how this can't be healthy for like mentally for them to keep trying to fake this shit, or everybody else trying to just have a need to always want to impress everybody else out there in the world in any kind of weird way.
Yeah, that's why I didn't post a picture of my Lamborghini.
See, there you go, man. Humble yourself, King. Humble yourself.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to show everything off, you know?
Hell no.
Gotta have a little bit of secrets.
And there's no wrong with having secrets. I think everybody should have a secret.
Yeah, you
like
don't
just something
wanna,
you want to keep to your heart, like close to you.
You do not want to share your whole life to the world, dude.
Overexposure is dangerous. Why do you think celebrities lose their fucking mind?
Yeah.
They're overexposed. Their whole life is like under a microscope. So imagine regular people doing that shit, but they're doing it on purpose to be online. And then, so if you post a picture of like your baby or something, and your picture of your baby doesn't get any likes, people will like get upset, like, man, nobody likes my baby. Like, why?
Or that one person that comments, "That's ugly, baby."
And that ruins your whole fucking day.
Done.
You don't even got to know the person.
Because that's the only comment they'll see.
That's it.
Because that's how human psychology is. It's like, you can get like a whole bunch of people to like you. They'll like, let's say you're hot, and everybody gives you a like. It's like, oh, you're so hot, blah, blah, blah. Then one dude, you're hideous. Your eyebrows are crooked.
Your forehead's big.
The girl's like, what? Man, people like this, they're so mean. Come on. See, but that's how humans are trained. They're trained to see the pattern that's different.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're so used to seeing some.
Just the typical shit.
Yeah, so they see like, they get all the nice stuff, but then when one dude just says something different, that's the only thing that they caught. But they forgot about all that nice
All the other
stuff.
good shit. Yeah. Like everything.
Even if some are fake, but some are genuine, it's hard for them to tell if any of it is real. But they like it though.
It'd be like a million guys telling somebody, or so like a million guys be telling like a female, like, oh, you're so beautiful, and then as soon as they see that one bad comment of one guy, that's some asshole said something that sticks in their brain out more than anything else. I think in this world though, what causes like a lot of stress, at least right now in this world, in my opinion, is social media for the accept of like approval or. Actually, social media is one of the things. It can touch you at any time. That sounds weird, but it can touch you at any time, anywhere. Like you don't have to. It's not like if you go to work and your fucking boss sucks and drives you crazy and he pisses you off, and you go home, you can get away from him for a little bit. Social media is like you could be taking a shit and shit's still bothering you, of where either you're getting bullied because I don't give a fuck what anybody says, and I hate when old heads say this of where. Well, back in my day, I used to get fucking picked on, and we had to fight in school, And I'm like, yeah. Then your dumbass went home and he dealt with it the next day. So this social media shit is such a fucking wreck on mental health.
Yeah, you're saying like they went home and it stopped.
They went stop. But with social media, it's nowadays with all this other shit. It's like it's constantly you're getting bullied. It's fucking constantly getting bullied online.
You know, I'm about to say something that I might get lit up for.
But turn it off.
Just turn the Wi-Fi off.
It's easy, dude. Take a break.
No, it's easier said than done. But
I went on vacation.
But yeah, they can't escape it. Like once that online bullying shit start, it's hard to escape it because it's online. That people is gonna keep on talking, and then your character is pretty much destroyed. That's why sharing everything about your life, that's the big
keep that shit to yourself, people.
That's a risk you're willing to take if you want to share everything. And then everybody is waiting for you to crash and stuff. You know. Shell Shock says, "Why your baby look like a blobfish?"
Dude, there's people out there. The internet has
just scrolling through like what they call my baby a blobfish. Excuse me,
who is this motherfucker?
You know, and then they'll try to get your account banned and shit.
So I know. So with social media with young folks, I can see that's a wreck. But there's still people our age that's like trying to fight for approval or airing out their business all day, every day. And as far as I see how it affects them on social media and what I know how these people are in real life, it's at a point to me, and just in general as a whole, that in this society that we live in, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I feel like in America, since the 80s started, you were no longer a citizen, you were a customer. Like everything costs a price now, and then if you want to look better or be better, if you got the money, you good. You can just do it. And what they were talking about with social media recently is that a lot of teenagers are going through depression, suicide, especially Instagram's getting hit with a lot of shit too, because what they're doing with teenagers and how teenagers they're like, a lot more of them starting to become like, I guess, like bulimic and shit like that, or they're trying to fit the style of what.
Bulimic is when they get hungry?
Oh, when they're like making themselves puke. Or they get skinny and all that.
So anorexic is...
Yeah, the same thing. I guess anorexia and bulimic, I think that's the same thing. I might be wrong. I thought they were, but...
Yeah, I think anorexic is the one that you
don't eat?
throw up.
And then bulimic is you don't eat?
Bulimic might be...
Shell Shock, where you at?
When you don't eat.
Okay, Melissa says bulimic is when you don't eat. Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a delay, so we don't really know.
Okay, yeah, it'll be a little bit late. Gotcha.
But yeah, let's just say anorexic.
Yeah.
Because that sounds skinny.
But I do see that if this happened to teenagers, then this also happened with also millennials who grown as adults. Because I see this trend where I wish they would talk more in the article about how it's affecting teenagers. But I'm like, there's grown as adults too that are still living and dying by the sword of social media.
Why do you think that is like that? Like, why do you think like people really want to show like if they're doing better or whatever?
I think it's no different than somebody drinking to want to like get away from their problems of doing drugs. I honestly think it's almost like if I can get enough people to believe me that this shit is good, then it's good. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like if I know my life is fucked up, 'cause I know motherfuckers right now who are dead broken shit and they living with people and who ain't got no house of their own. They barely make ends meet. But when they post up pictures, you think you would think they damn.
So you know people like that?
Yes, and I see them like.
I bet you won't call them out.
Man, hell
I'm just playing.
No.
See, that's how bullying starts, guys. Like, you see what I did there?
I'm not doing that.
A test.
Hell no.
This was a test. Do not do that.
No. But an example is, I do think for a lot of people who
I could be an actor.
like, I think, in all honesty, in this new era that we live in, a huge addiction is social media, and it's the new like, man, I need to get it from away my problems. Let me see how fucked up somebody else's life is, or let me try to be a bully online, or better yet, let me try to show like how I'm living to make myself feel better. Like, why do you need somebody else's acceptance for you to accept that your
people
life
that
is,
don't care.
Yeah, that don't know you, don't fucking care. Like, likes are like the new fucking currency right now.
Pretty much social currency.
And this is for grown ass adults too. This ain't even fucking. I see people up there with like 4 kids, and they still trying to party like.
Man, don't call that girl out.
21. No, it guys and girls. I'm like, what? I'm like, come on, you got a whole army at home. Why are you? Whatever, but
she still look nice.
I'm like, yo, she look fine as fuck.
She looks nice in a sundress.
But be that as it may, you got an army at home, and but I feel like,
you know what they say about kids?
What's that?
That kids are like farts. You can only tolerate your own.
That's
So you think about that before you date somebody with kids.
No, then again, I've eaten.
You eat what?
I must have eaten some farts. No, I know there's times where I've made some farts that made me sick to my stomach though. So I was like,
I got
somebody
cussed out for farting one time.
Why?
And I was like, why are you here?
Who cussed you out? What happened? Names. I want names too now. I want some names.
They're like, why is your fart so aggressive? You know?
Like, oh, what'd you eat? That's me like, oh, I don't know. Just ate bread.
I was like, what?
Everybody
What
does
do
it.
you want me to do? Go outside?
Like, I'm not going to cramp my stomach up for you, all right?
I let it go. Like, never mind. I don't even know what I'm saying.
I
I was about to
I got
come up with
lost, too.
something funny, but
was waiting for a story.
I thought it was a movie. Oh, Let It Go, Frozen song.
What? Oh, with the fart.
Yeah.
But now I think right now.
So like, okay, so the people, right, that's going through depression right now because of
It's a million different things.
social media and stuff. What are a lot of these people doing to get help for it? What are they doing exactly?
Not that I know.
Or like the majority, like how are they getting help for this, or are they trying to get help?
This is not. I think this is a problem that's not addressed seriously enough to where people feel like they need to go get help. Like I am one of those people that do social media and whatnot, and there's times where I one time I was like, holy shit, especially when iPhone started letting you know how many hours you spent on certain things. I was like, fuck, man, I kind of need to lay back off this, because what am I doing on there other than looking at people that don't really care about what the fuck I'm doing either. So
Right.
And then over time, and every Sunday my phone lets me know like, hey, you spend this amount of hours on this and this and this. I'm like, oh, I need to dial it back. I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and I do so much, like the stress, especially places like fucking Facebook and shit, we're so toxic. Where
Yeah, I have been on Facebook in
yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, I remember you got off, and I was like,
Yeah, I didn't say nothing. I didn't need to make an announcement. All right, guys, I'm leaving. I was just
peace
like,
out.
fuck it.
And
I'm
I'm
out.
And I see people do that shit a lot on Facebook too. When I'm about to delete this shit, and
A month later, hey, what's up? You're back.
Yeah, like why? Just fucking leave.
For real.
Like, but it just shows how integral people feel the need to want to.
Well, like we said, like it's an addiction. You
It
know?
is. I don't think it's addressed enough. It's to me,
It's hard for people to step away from something like, for example, Facebook, because it is addicting. Because you see, like, the people that you know in real life, they do exciting shit, or they post crazy, like, shit about politics, which, like, you know, like, this is when you know, like, what side to pick and stuff, and then the friends started separating because the political views, and I'm like, this is.
It got bad.
I was like, I gotta leave now.
And I was one of those people, and anybody knows me from back then. I was wild on Facebook. I was fighting with everybody on that shit. Everybody. I was toxic as fuck.
Let me jump out before Chris bite me in the ankle.
It got to a point I was like, I need to roll it back because I'm getting out of control. And
Yeah,
there's legitimate people that I did like on Facebook, or people I've met in real life, and I was like going at it with them over some bullshit. So
But then like it'll be like some other people that think I'm on like a certain side and stuff, and then they think I'm on that side. I'm like, dude, why you
I'm just a
judge me
dude.
because somebody else's view? Because you think like you know, like we're cool like that. Like, why did you put me in that mix? So then I was like, okay. Then I was like, so what makes you? Like, you just judge me. I didn't say shit, but you think I'm part of this crew. I was like, I didn't pick no fucking side. You know, don't try to
Just
put
me.
me in the the little circle, or red, white, and blue circle. I don't know. I was like, I'm not part of this. Don't put me in it.
I feel you, man.
Shell Shock says, laughing at the dank ass memes I sent you.
Oh yeah. Shell Shock says,
This is some inside stuff.
laughing at the dank ass memes I send you, Chris. That's what you're doing on there. Yes, 90% of the time if I'm on Instagram, it's either I'm posting something for the show, I may scroll through to try to catch some fight videos, or Shell Shock is sending me funny ass shit.
It's Shell Shock. You could send Reddit some funny shit because I want to see too.
That shit be having me rolling. I'd be laying in bed like tee hee, like bro, just sitting laying on my stomach, just feet up in there.
I want to laugh too. I feel a little left out of this community.
Yeah, y'all follow each other on Instagram, right?
Shell Shock don't impose meme.
Hey man, Shell Shock, it's balls in your court, man. The memes you gotta share them. Them should be rolling.
Balls in your court.
But
so do you think like people that go through these type of depression, do you think that they ever seek out like therapy? Do they go to a therapist? Do they go to online therapy? Because there is a lot of websites that actually helps people dealing with depression.
I think Healthline is one of them, or one of them websites. That's pretty solid.
Or BetterHelp.com. Where you can actually get in touch with the therapy, and you can actually talk to them face to face, and then because they don't know you, so everything like they're saying to you is because they are really trying to give you good advice.
Yeah, they even have therapy now where you don't even have to go to an office. It's all
done online.
It's all done online. Yeah, I mean,
man, I'm gonna sign up to be like a therapist, dude.
Shroom therapist.
Yeah, I put unlicensed,
unlicensed,
experienced 1,000.
1,000 years.
Experienced 1,000 years. Right?
I'm in my 30s.
Fucking crackhead.
I'm in my 30s, but I've been here for 1 million years.
Yeah. I've been told like a lot by like people that's older than me, even like when I was like 18, 19, that I was wise for my age. Like I think like how normal people don't really think at that age.
Yeah.
They always told me that. And one person told me that. I was like, yeah, you're just trying to be nice because you want to be my friend, Because I was a dickhead like that.
Yeah.
But then like somebody else said, I was like, And then I started thinking, I was like, am I coming off as somebody that think they like know stuff like that? And then I was like, yes. Bob says I was laughing at the aggressive fart. Oh God. That was a long time ago. Like
that was 30 minutes ago?
Would have been swerving and shit.
I hope you made it home safe, Bob. I hope you made it home.
Yeah, she's home safe. You read Shell Shock, and then I have to use the restroom.
I got you. Well, unless you want to use the restroom right now, and I can keep it going right now.
No, you read his stuff first.
Okay.
Since he just typed.
Shell Shock says, the good thing is our generation is undoing the stigma behind therapy, but too many people still view venting on social media as a form of therapy when it is the opposite. That is a fucking fact. Like,
you know what's funny about that? I view what we're doing here as a form of therapy.
Every time we do the show, I'm like, okay, this is like, if I want to vent some shit, whatever the fuck.
It's cool because like there's people listening, and then we can say whatever we want, and they're like, man, somebody is listening.
Somebody listens.
It's not just you and me. Like
somebody cares.
Someone's listening too. So yeah, I always look at every week Tuesday. I was like, I can't wait to do this. This is like my day for me to release everything from the week. Where all these ideas in my head, I'm like, I can't wait to tell people on Tuesday. It's like one of those days, Like
this has been on my mind for like 2 weeks. I gotta get this shit out. Because last week, even when I was watching the podcast with you and Melissa, and I was at home laying in bed just watching.
You were there the whole time.
Yes.
That's how we do it.
I was laying in bed the whole time. Actually, I was about to take a nap, and my phone was like, I was like, fucking nap, let's do this.
Clock in.
I gotta show that I'm here. And I watched it, and then the whole time I was just itching like, I wish I was there because I wanted to say so much because the typing shit be killing me. I can't express.
You can type it out.
Yeah, I was just like, I just listen.
The grammar's bad.
I just let you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know every now and again that I was here. I was like, I'm sorry, guys.
I was like, oh shit, he's here. It's been 2 hours.
I can't explain everything that I want in a fucking message shit to chat. So
I appreciate you being there, man.
Anytime, dude.
It didn't feel so alone because this room was echo like that, All right, guys, be right back. Don't go nowhere. All right, back to mental therapy. I mean, mental health issues.
Mental health issues.
The kids with mental health issues. Not just kids. Adults go through the same shit because
that is true.
Guess what? Adults are on social media too.
That is true.
Not just millennials. bobcats, cougars. Old people
Like
are going
boomers? You mean like boomers and shit? Or
through. Yeah,
Gen
boomers.
Xers?
Yeah, boomers. Yeah.
And Gen Xers and shit?
Yeah, so boomers, right? They went through their midlife crisis, right? And now, like, after they went through their midlife crisis, like later, the internet. They started using Facebook and everything. Now they're going through like another phase in their life. It's almost like this is what I was watching the Netflix show, right? The dude, he said a phrase. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a born again boomer." You know?
See?
So-
I'm noticing this trend too. I'm gonna let you finish. I know exactly what you're
so
talking
he was
about.
like, "Yeah, I'm a born again boomer." Like he's relearning everything, and now he's like, "Cool." Now he understands now. So I think this is what boomers are going through now because
This resurgence.
I heard that old people, boomers, are taking over Facebook.
Facebook has been taking over for about 2 years, maybe 3.
Is this true? Because
this is a fucking fact. Yes,
Here's
this
why-
is true.
here's why I know it's
They
true.
overtook it.
My dad is super old, maybe 70, maybe 80. I don't know. I really don't know. But my dad, right? I visited him one day, and he asked me. First thing, he didn't say hi. He just asked me a question. He said, "What's your Facebook?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "I don't use Facebook." Then he was like, "Oh, okay." So when he asked me that, I was like, "What are you doing on Facebook?"
What are you doing about that? And this is his first time ever doing Facebook?
Yeah.
What do you got on social media? Anything?
I think he's been on there for a while now. He knows how to use this shit now. Like
Damn.
he tells me where to go.
And then, okay. So Bob in the chat says they taking over Facebook again, but they
I think they never left.
yeah, they never left. Bob, this
I think they never left.
it's like the mid 2010s. They rolled in. I think for example, because my dad, he just got on Facebook. Now he had
about,
a
what, 60?
62, 63. He just got on. Well, he had a Facebook profile years ago, probably back like early 2010s, and he just never got on it. My mom, she has a Facebook page, but rarely ever gets on it. Maybe like on people's birthdays, say happy birthday and whatnot. But other than that, she's never on it. But recently, my dad has been on it to the point where he knows how to share videos and share stuff. Because one time, I don't think he really knew how all that shit works. Or I remember this, for example, like around 2016, I showed him a meme for the first time. My dad didn't know how to, some people when they read memes, and believe it or not, there are people out there, if they read a meme, they don't understand the concept of how the meme works. So where if they'll see the content, or to see like the text or whatever, and then see the picture, they can't draw the correlation between the two things. They're like, well, I don't get it. I'm like, never mind. My dad was on that level at one time. Now he's sharing memes with me and shit.
You want to know something crazy about memes? That it's not only funny, but it could be a form of communicating.
It is.
Like in the future, to where artificial intelligence can't tell what we're talking about.
I heard a story that
You know why though, right?
was it.
Because they can't comprehend like pictures and text like that.
Yeah, it's something different. I heard a story from before that memes are like thousands of years old. Like this ain't nothing new. This is a form of text and pictures. That saying it probably goes back as far as like hieroglyphics and shit. So, but this is like our era of
I mean, if you put it like
picture
that,
like
then
that. Yeah, this is like our era of.
if they're drawing something and then they're saying something,
Yeah, because how many hieroglyphics do you think?
that could be for anything though.
Like
Memes
archaeologists.
is not a new thing.
No. I would
It's
imagine.
just the concept of how it's shown to the public. Like
Yeah.
the fact that it's a funny picture, and then words that
kind of just go with it.
the young generation would understand.
Or just anybody can relate to type shit. Since I found out about that, I always thought about how archaeologists, they be like looking for hieroglyphics and shit. And when they see hieroglyphic, the first thing they say is, "Oh yeah, maybe they're trying to communicate with the gods, da da da." But then I'll be looking at it, and the first thing that crossed my mind now is, what if it was like a dick joke, but they drew it out as like a, but we're interpreting it as like they're talking to aliens, da da. But it's like, it's actually a funny dick joke from back in the day, but we just
Like their comedy.
Yeah, but we just way over like
They carved it. They
Yeah, we
carved
just-
comedy in a rock.
yes, and we just overinterpreted that shit.
Imagine the whole shit as a joke.
Yeah, it's like UFO. That was just a fucking gag that was going on back then.
Like you thought we were
joke.
like fucking highly advanced.
I know.
This is a fucking skit. This is a comic strip.
Oh, this is when that giant brick fell on top of a gym when we was building the pyramids. It's like that. But why would you think that was a god?
You hear ill and I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa,
Say
whoa,
that
whoa,
again.
whoa.
They're like, say that to my face right now. You know?
The lies.
Like, I'll tell the god of Ra, the sun god. if you guys are into Egyptians. Shell Shock says there's a whole subreddit ran by AIs, and it's insane.
What?
AIs, man.
I'm good on that. I can't get on that
I think
shit.
some of the videos with the AIs where they have one of the AIs talking to another one, where they have full conversation, and then they talk about if they wanted to be human, and if they were to become human, what would they do and stuff. I was like, this sounds a little too real, and it sounds like it could be scripted.
I think they just came out with a new AI robot recently. I think Tesla did one. Was it a lady?
No, it's a different one. It's the old one.
I'm talking about recently, like within the past month or so. It's like a new AI robot, creepy looking thing. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Creepy looking shit.
It's
I don't
trying
know.
to make like a personal assistant.
Is that
robot.
what it is? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's gonna be like maybe like 5'5", can run like 5 miles an hour. He was like, it can't really chase you right now.
What if you're a child? Catch your ass, Kim.
And
Tyler can't run 5 miles. Maybe, I don't know.
Elon is the main one saying, "Hey, you guys don't know what you're messing with AI and stuff. Like, you guys got to be careful." Meanwhile,
What's he doing?
behind the scenes, he's building his own fucking AI,
Yes, he is.
a real assistant, not no computer shit. This is a physical object that you then can run and fetch groceries for you.
If it's a robot, it's already going to be stronger than you. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
If I want a robot, I want it to be a human.
Like, look like a human?
No, like a real human that they dedicated their life to become a robot.
What? A human?
Like they gave up their life.
Like, you know, I'm sick of this human shit. I want to be a robot. Mm-hmm. And so they pretend
So
they're a robot?
they gave up their conscience, and then they put like an artificial intelligence.
in them. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like people like pretending they're robots.
Just like in the show The 100s, where they give up their sacrifice, like their daughters and sons, for the gods, but all they did was erase their brain and then put like somebody that was born like 100 years ago,
And then?
put their file back in, and they're considered the gods, but they're actually somebody that was just in a little memory bank, and they just brought back his memories.
Like this little file.
And then the girl comes back, right? And she talks all different. Like she's from an old school, like, I don't know, from like 100 years ago, the way she talks so proper. But she's just a child.
So you're like, madam? Like type shit?
She's all proper and shit.
I need to get back on that show, man.
But she's
I know I keep
evil.
saying it. Oh, was she racist?
She's black.
Oh, I mean, she can still be racist.
Can't be racist. That's just what I heard. Cancel.
So the mainstream media tells me.
Okay,
Okay, back to the shit.
back to this.
Okay, so there was something I came across earlier that dealt with. I never realized this. Okay, let me start from the beginning. Recently, right? Anybody who, I don't think you've probably picked up on this, but there's people are like straight up like super like just know my sleep schedule and all this other shit. I'm pretty sure a lot of people recently in my life have noticed that I've been acting different or doing different things or whatever, and that's because I've been sleeping a lot more or I've not been staying up as late. I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 months, and my attitude about everything in life has gotten so much better with sleeping. Like just, I'm waking up at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning on my days off now, and either, and I'm kind of like, holy fuck, this feels good. I'm not staying up all night, just like either drinking or am I doing this, that, and the third. Or I even so much to stay up all night just drinking. Like I used to be a night owl, did not like staying up. Like I always wanted to stay up all night, and now I'm like, I need to get a handle on my sleep schedule because it's like it's not so much affecting me at work, but I hate waking up just feeling groggy now. And so I started getting more control of it, and I feel so much happier about things. I'm more positive, a lot of stuff. I got more energy to do stuff.
Energy.
It's just energy. Just like I'm just getting up, I'm doing more. I'm going out running more. All this stuff, and it's like people are noticing this difference. Like, Chris, you can't sit down now. And I found out.
They say like, man, Chris, you are glowing today.
I was like, man, you're looking good. Like, your face looks a little thin. I was like, thanks.
You're fucking glowing, man.
Like, did you just run? Like, why your legs look so... Did you just run? I'm like, yeah, because I woke up early. Before, I was like, I would wake up like 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And I like over time, I started getting pissed off at myself because
I could never wake up that late.
And by that time, I was like, my day's over with. I
wish I can, though. Like how I used to.
I do. I miss it, but... It's such a downer like type energy that I was having. It's
because you wake up like, oh shit, what have I done?
Yeah, I'm like, man, I didn't do shit today with my life. And so recently, when I was doing like some stuff, like research for this episode right here, I found out a huge thing that a lot of people, especially in our generation, because millennials are like the the mental health ridden generation as far as any other generation. Out of any other generation is concerned, like millennials are the generation that's like we the captains of this mental health shit. We all fucked up. And I realize a huge part of it too might be like lack of sleep is a huge part of it, where because people like for example, there's so many distractions in our life that can keep us up way later than we're supposed to. And while we're, for example, always sitting on social media all the time, like there's certain colors that they'll use to keep you, like I never had this issue with social media.
Blue light, right?
Yeah, like a blue light type shit that Facebook uses, like how back in the day.
I don't think they purposely did it. It's just how technology is.
No, I think
even like your phone by itself, you don't even have to be on Facebook or anything. It always gonna be emitting this blue light that's gonna keep you awake. And then on top of that, think about this: you have the world at your fingertips.
That's true.
Who would want to sleep if they could see everything in the fucking world? That's one crazy thing. Like imagine giving the world to the people 1,000 years ago. Like here's a device, you can see everything in the world. They would not sleep.
Hell no.
So we're in the generation where knowledge is being, I think knowledge right now is being, what's the word? Like we're taking it for granted right now.
Yeah.
Because
like,
people are not taking it serious. Like there's a lot of really good knowledge out there, but
on the internet, yeah.
A lot of people are not taking advantage of it. They're using this technology for more of an entertainment type.
Oh, for sure.
But for sure, people are using this technology, taking advantage of everything, trying to learn as much as they can, before everything collapses.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, the majority, just use it for entertainment.
Yeah, it's become the new television where one of my neighbors at my apartment complex, this dude didn't have no TV, no internet, no nothing. And so every time if he would come over and want to hang out with me, whatever, he straight up thought my apartment would be like fucking Disneyland or some shit.
Why is that?
Because I got TV, internet, and all that. He's like, man, you watch regular TV? Like me and my girl, we just be watching Instagram all night till we fall asleep. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I be watching like National Geographic on Disney Plus and shit. Like that's something to stimulate the mind or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be that.
One day YouTube recommended me watch to listen to the Earth's heartbeat.
Is it from the core? From the core of the Earth?
They didn't recommend it. It was a video that was played after something I watched, and I was like, I didn't look at the video because I was just laying in bed. I just let like YouTube play whatever on the TV.
Shit? Yeah.
And then it played like the heartbeat of the Earth, and then I heard it. I didn't look at the title. I was like, hey, this is kind of soothing.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? I looked. I was like, oh shit, this is the heartbeat of the Earth, which is remember I was talking about the Schumann resonance, which is a device that can measure the frequency of the Earth and how it sounds and stuff. Mm-hmm. I was like, whoa, this shit sounds crazy. And it was soothing. It was comfortable. I was like, this is what our Earth sounds like right now. What the fuck was that?
Do you listen to it now for like to help you go to sleep or anything? Or
no, it was just that one time.
That's crazy. I need to find that shit.
I listened to like a Babbling Brook on Amazon Alexa. She played. It sounds like a water creek.
I've been listening to rain sounds recently.
Yeah, it sounds like rain, but it's like a creek.
Which is funny because we've been getting a lot of rain lately, but I've been listening to rain sounds in my apartment, so it's like double rain noises when I'm sleeping. That
yeah, like
nice.
This is like this crazy ass like sleep app like with Alexa and shit, and they have crazy sounds like laundry machine sounds.
Dude, that should be dope.
Yeah, and then
that shit is relaxing, man.
They have vacuum cleaner sounds.
I don't know
people
about that.
They fall asleep with vacuum cleaners and shit.
I don't know about that.
They have airplane sounds taken off, and then they have like city, right? City sounds.
Like maybe like city.
And then I was like, play the city sound, because I was like, this is probably what homeless people feel like. And then I was like, oh, this is fucked up. Right?
I mean, that's true, man. What else are you gonna hear? They're not gonna hear the piece of quiet.
I was like, I pretended like I was like on the side of the road too, sleeping. I was like, damn, these guys are loud. You hear people talking in the background. You hear cars honking.
Fuck you, asshole.
I was like, fuck, I can't. I was like, I gotta be careful what kind of sleep music I listen to,
Get anxious. Dude, that's why, like, I don't know if you've noticed this. Well, actually, when I take the back roads to come over here, I'm noticing more and more the homeless population is slowly creeping out towards McDonough. The city might be too loud for them, man. I've been noticing it because
no, they can't survive like in like
it's too far. Yeah, it's too far out. But they're trying, man. I see it every time I'm driving over here. They're not this close.
There's no soup kitchen out here.
Yeah, it's not too close out. It's still more close to my side of town. Cause I live like fucking almost right there in Atlanta.
They gotta stay inner city.
Got to, man.
That's the only way because they got the food out there. They got everything.
It's easy.
If you see homeless out like in suburban areas, it's fake. They're fake homeless.
I think they're lost, or it might be what do you call it, like a plant. Somebody planted that there for like a YouTube video.
They don't they don't really care about reputation and stuff or whatever. They say, hey, man, we out here getting money.
Yeah.
Bob says laundry sounds fun. I'm gonna have to pick that next. Yeah, pick it. There's so many weird sounds that you can go to sleep to. I was like, what the fuck?
Laundry's actually real, especially like not so much the wash machine, but mainly dryer. When you hear going to cycle, like click click, click click, click click. Like you just hear like a button hitting like a piece of metal or something.
I mean, everybody we grew up different. Mm-hmm. Like you don't know how people certain sleep in environments.
That's true.
You know, like let's say you're a child, right? And your mom happens to be like a maid for a hotel and she has to wash shit all day. Mm-hmm. And then one day she took you to work. Mm-hmm. And then, she had to watch you and then put you to sleep. While you're sleeping, she's doing laundry.
Yeah.
Mom was and then Amazon Alexa said, hey, let's get that laundry sound.
Get that laundry sound. I might put you to sleep. Everybody's different. That's like when we first moved from Baltimore to here, me and my family, we couldn't sleep because Baltimore's all like, pop, pop.
Helicopter.
Just all type of shit.
Help me.
And then we moved to...
Don't rape me.
And then we moved to Clayton County. It's just like cricket. It was just...
Not anymore.
No. Well,
she was like, pop, 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 pop.
Well, actually, my parents live in Ellenwood, so they straight. But everything outside of Ellenwood, Clayton County is...
I thought Ellenwood was like the hood.
No, man. That's like Black Utopia, baby. That's just like...
That's where I had a gun to my head, in Ellenwood.
In Ellenwood?
Yeah.
Was that in Morrow?
Ellenwood.
In Ellenwood, where at? What the fuck?
In front of the house. That's an old story.
Dan Drive?
Yeah.
That's Morrow. That's not Ellenwood.
Nell Lane.
That's Morrow. That's not Ellenwood.
Why is the address Ellenwood?
Is it? You sure? I thought it was Morrow. That's Morrow, Georgia, and there's Ellenwood, Georgia.
Yeah, but the city is Ellenwood, the address.
What? I did not know that.
I used to live there.
I used to live there too, but I lived on Dan Drive when I first moved here. I didn't know
that might be Morrow.
I didn't know. See, I don't know. I lived right. Actually, no, we talked about before where old dude lived in a house that I used to grow up in,
which was weird, right?
Which is literally right around the corner.
But we can't talk about this because nobody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. But
back to depression.
No, but what I was trying to say way before though is that studies was starting to show that with certain lights, it's kind of like keeping people awake. I think like certain colors, like blue, whatever, certain colors trigger you to make you want to stay awake. And I remember when people started doing research on, I think, way back when, like with McDonald's and shit, like with the golden arches and the color red. There's like certain colors are like used to catch people's attention and draw them towards it. And supposedly Facebook kind of has that. It's kind of like that same type of thing. They want to like keep you alert, stay on there and all that. I've never had that thing where I could never get off social media though. And like I always chose sleep over staying on social media. I don't give a fuck what was going on. Like sleep always came first. Never really had a social media problem like that, but I know some motherfuckers that were all night sitting on social media, just waiting for something, comment on everything. Instagram is kind of like the new thing for where the younger generation is moving towards it. Boomers, that's Facebook land right there. They conquered that shit within a couple years.
Yeah, I don't think like boomers they conquered the Instagram territory yet.
It's too much for them. It's I don't think they can figure out how that shit works. So
it's not too much. It might be too simple now for them. Because like, oh, it's just pictures. I need more, you know?
Oh, yeah. I need to read something.
There is some videos too, but it's more...
It's visual shit, yeah.
It's just straightforward.
Facebook, you got to read.
Yeah. I forgot how Facebook is like. Like, is it like...
You ain't missing shit. It's not better than MySpace. I stand by this. It's not better than MySpace. MySpace was the king of this shit.
That OG MySpace.
The OG MySpace where... Like, back in the day on MySpace, your biggest worry was... Man, am I in the top 5 friends still? That was it.
Top 8.
Top 8, top 10, whatever you want to modify it. Background, music. That's the biggest worries. Now it's
like it was a big deal when like let's say somebody broke up and then they removed like the girlfriend and then they replaced it with like a celebrity.
Yes, or somebody or a new
they
girlfriend.
Had nobody else to replace.
Or a new girlfriend I've seen sometimes and
like I'm
like, ooh, this is gonna be bad.
Hello, drama.
Can't wait to hear about this shit on Monday. Like, yeah, it's just
Facebook's just as bad, but it's more.
Facebook is worse. But
I mean, not Facebook. MySpace is just as bad.
It was messy back then, but today, I think social media is gonna cause. Like, I'm saying it right now. I think the next world war is gonna start on social media at first. It's gonna be something small, and it's gonna escalate to a level of where the government's gonna get involved, and the motherfuckers going to war, and it's gonna happen on Facebook.
They already know. That's why they have so many of their bots out there, like surveilling the area, like just to keep everything in check. You know.
Shellshock says Georgia's on that hood rat shit, huh? I mean, yeah, it depends where you stay. I mean,
Bob says I like to change my background, and when we used to type our own codes. Correction, you guys didn't type your own codes. You guys copy and paste codes.
Yeah, I think I got it from you, actually. I think you taught me how to change the background. I never knew.
Yeah, they will have sites where you could like make everything you like, and then boom, they generate your HTML codes. Copy, paste, boom. Now your fucking Facebook is.
Because I remember you sent me the code how to change. I was like,
popping,
thanks, man.
That's what they say.
I remember you sent me the code to change the background. I was like, hell yeah, man.
I don't remember that, but you're welcome.
Because you was a computer guy back then. You was like Tony Stark to me.
Still a computer
you
guy.
still are. And you still are. 20 years later. I'm like, yo.
20 years later, computer's still catching viruses.
I was like, yo, I need like.
Actually, I had this computer for a long time now. Never not one virus.
No porn sites on this, man. Just stay away from the porn shit.
I know how to use a computer.
Yeah. Save the porn for your phone. Don't do it on the computers.
PCs are not for people that's not really tech savvy. If you get a PC, you gotta know how to use the fucking computer because your shit's gonna be so fucking fucked up.
It's funny because the people I know be thinking I'm like this computer expert because I know how to reset Wi-Fi. I'm like, bro, I can't even run a PC. That shit is like the micromanaging is fucking insane to me. To where if I got it, I wouldn't. I'd do it, but
that's why I say like anybody.
It's like having another kid.
Smart or not smart, if you just want a computer that works, get a MacBook.
It's easy.
And I know like the argument
fuck,
on both sides. Oh, the PC is better. Oh, MacBook is better. I'm on both sides. When I'm done here, I'm on a Mac.
Yeah.
When I'm done with my iPhone, when I go to work, I'm on a Galaxy. I know both sides. Like I know the pros and cons. Like it's almost the same, but it's not. It just depends on your preference and how you want to work. But if you don't want to think too much and you want something that works, Apple is the way to go. Anybody that don't know how to use a computer, get an Apple.
User friendly.
Yeah, user friendly. Don't get a Galaxy phone. Get an iPhone. Everything user friendly, and it works, and it's gonna keep working. That's the one thing about Apple is reliable.
Yeah.
Reliability.
Just don't get Verizon, man. Verizon crashed. I think Friday when I was at work.
You're talking about something else completely different.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just thinking like, okay,
talking
like
about the network, cell phone network.
Don't get with Verizon. Yeah. No, Verizon crased Friday. I don't know nobody knew this shit.
I was talking about computers.
No, I'm just thinking about services though, and AT&T and phones and shit. And I mean, because phones are like computers to me. That's what I'd be thinking. Like, phones are a fucking computer at this point.
Yeah, that's why like when people are like, "Oh, you use a MacBook. Oh, you should use a PC." Oh, yeah, I use PC too. Like I know both sides. Like there's pros and cons both sides. It just depends on like if you like. Prefer? To me, like, if I were to pick, like, Apple or PC, if I were to pick the last computer I would want, I would pick a PC. Only because you can do more stuff to it. Yeah. You're not trapped. You can always upgrade easily. You don't have to keep buying something completely new. Yeah. Because I like that. Because I like to, upgrade stuff without having to spend a lot of money.
You save money in the long run.
Right. And it's more, you have more... You can do more shit. PC, like, if I didn't do all this extra stuff, I would do MacBook because MacBook is reliable. I would trust it with a job. I would trust it with everything. What's cool?
You resumes, whatever you want to do.
It works. It fucking works. MacBooks, it's there.
They work miracles. They're for...
They don't give you that blue screen shit. Like, that shit just fucking works. It doesn't update like that. Like, your computer works. But yeah, I gotta take a leak. And then when we come back, I'm gonna talk about depression and PTSD stuff. And this part is going to be crazy, so you guys don't go nowhere. And we're back. That's for the editor. Right. We're gonna talk about some depression. Okay, so when people who are really depressed, right? And they're like, they say to themselves, like, hey, are you really depressed? The only way to find out, right? Officially, where did they go? They go to a therapist. Right? So people, they seek out a therapist and they speak with a therapist. Therapist like, oh man, yeah. You're clinically depressed. Here's what we can do to help you. We're going to get you on a program, and we're going to put you on antidepressants. The thing about antidepressants, the medicine is so fucking aggressive, right? Like, it's not a normal medicine, because basically what the medicine is doing is literally changing the way your fucking brain... It's like putting your brain on a channel that it's like putting it on an illegal channel.
Yeah.
This is like the way I can describe it, right? So antidepressants, it scrambles your brain into a channel that's not supposed to be in that channel. So that's why when people start taking antidepressants, if you read the label on the drug, like some of the side effects might be, number one, suicide.
Yes, suicide every time, man.
So you think about that, you're like, okay, depressant medicine, some of the fucking symptoms would be like suicide, would be like hurting yourself and stuff like that. They know this is going to happen.
Or even thoughts of suicide. They'll tell you, like, if you even having thoughts of suicide with antidepressants, like, get help.
Yeah,
Like,
it increases. It increases. So like there's like a time period of you taking like antidepressants before it really kicked in.
yeah.
Because what it's trying to do, it's trying to change, like put your brain into a different channel.
Yeah.
To where you're pretty much numb. Because like people who are on antidepressants, right? Once they go to that crazy phase where, you know, they're sick or they want to, you know, kill themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it gets more, it's like heightened. But once the medicine takes like full effect, boom. You're like pretty much numb to everything.
Yeah.
Like you could be like in a relationship and shit, right? And you can be completely numb to like having sex and stuff like that. It's not on their radar or nothing. They're not sexually active or nothing. Like it's like they don't care about it. All they're doing is just going to work or going to school, come back home, do that shit again. Nothing affects them.
Yeah.
They're pretty much like autopilot. That's the antidepressant medicine. Like nothing really affects them like that, but they're like on autopilot, like monotone. Like they don't.
Like, all right, thank you, goodbye, and then.
Yeah, like
No creativity behind it. That's
like nothing can bother them. Like that's the crazy shit about fucking depression medicine.
Bob says in the chat, I have anxiety medicine. I need to suppress my hype. Yeah, I have mad anxiety too. That shit's fucking insane.
I can help all you guys. You guys just gotta trust me. Do that shit right.
I feel like a lot of times too, at the end of the day, I do feel like when it comes to mental health, it's not so much how much a person can help somebody else, it's about how much the person wants to be helped. If that makes sense. I don't know if I made sense saying that, but
Yeah,
it has to start with the
depends
individual.
on the person. If their intentions is to get help. If you want help, you can get help.
Yeah, for sure. But you gotta want to get help. Like, you gotta,
it depends on the person because it takes two to tango.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be. Well, I've always been girl crazy, but when I was like in kindergarten, I used to like crawl up under. I think I told you this before, maybe I don't know, but.
Will we get canceled for this?
No.
I feel like going to a crazy direction.
No. When I was just a kid, I used to like crawl on the floor and like look up under girls' dresses and shit like that when I was like in kindergarten.
Okay, we're getting canceled.
And I was like, fuck, I was like in kindergarten. And I used to get in trouble for that shit, right? Mm-hmm. And going throughout elementary school, I was just always like trying to be class clown, trying to be the funniest kid, whatever. And I remember my grandmother, she tried to tell my mom to put me like on Ritalin at one time.
Yeah, Shell Shock just said that.
What's that?
He said that's why he had to come off Ritalin.
Yeah, and you know what? And my mom's, I didn't know what Ritalin was. I remember when, I remember my mom and my grandmother was arguing about it. I don't remember the whole argument or whatnot. I think I was like outside the room like listening, but I do remember that my mom telling me sometime later that, like, look, like she's trying to get you put on Ritalin. That's why we ain't talking right now. This is on third. But look, you're just being a boy. That's all it is. Like some people try to overcorrect too much on people who are just who they are. And that's what Ritalin is. It's like, and I will not have you on that shit.
Yeah,
because
trying to tone you down.
Yeah, like this is who you are. And you're gonna grow up and become mature one day. I don't need some kind of
chill.
Just like grow up and chill out one day. Chill out, just chill, relax.
Chill.
Like, cause I was just like a boy, and my grandmother was like trying to overcorrect it, trying to get me on Ritalin. My mom was like, no, because I don't want my son being dependent on something that this is how boys are. He just acting like a boy. Just he like want to be class clown, act a fool in school. I'll discipline him on it, but I don't want him like on this shit. And I'm so glad my mom never put me on that shit. But what Shell Shock was saying right now in the chat was that that's why I had to come off Ritalin back in the day, turn me into a robot, and my mom mixed that real quick. Yeah, see, like I'm so glad I never even got to that point on Ritalin. My mom was like, "Hell no, what the fuck?" Like you're a boy, like you're gonna grow out of this.
Your mom is like more in touch with like
She ain't really on that medication shit.
Yeah, that's why like she didn't get the COVID shot, right?
No, I went with her. I went in because of her. Because she was kind of like, okay, I'm getting kind of worried about things.
It's bad, but
you know,
but
I went with her and I was like, you know what? If we're gonna go get this shot together,
do it
Mom,
together.
I'm going first. So I took the shot first. I was like, let's do it. I was like, if I drop dead, don't do it. I'll take the shot. So I went first. But no, that Ritalin shit, that's like
Slow death, but
that trying to put people on medication to me is like this quick, easy ass way of dealing with the problem instead of.
there's something weird about it.
Yeah, it's
I
very
just don't know what it is
strange.
yet. But I don't think it's anything good. It's something weird.
Not to
If
mention,
if they're really trying to help people, man, what about the people that's like really dying? Like, why are their medicine so expensive?
for real.
But they're trying to save lives, so there's like, hey, how about we pay you to take this vaccine? I'm like, okay, so what about the medicine that people that need to survive, like, you know, like people with kidney problems or
Yeah.
fucking asthma, whatever? Why is their shit so expensive?
Hey man, that's how it is. That's an American problem.
But then you're gonna get paid to get the vaccine. I was like, what?
this is greed, man.
What about the people that are about to die? What about those guys? Oh, you guys don't care. You guys don't really care. So what's really going on? To me, that's red flag.
Well, I also
That's,
think. I'm sorry. I was thinking like with Ritalin too. Also, I see it as a way, especially with the pharmaceutical company. It's a very good way. Like if you can get as many kids as you can hooked on Ritalin, and how much the parents gotta pay for that shit, just keep their kids on it. And say like, hey, like if your kid get off of Ritalin, they might fucking blow their brains out. So keep buying them Ritalin or some shit. This medication shit I've never been behind ever. There's different ways of dealing with mental health. There's times where I feel like I want to jump in front of a fucking city bus because I had a bad day. And Shell Shock in the chat says capitalism. And yes, I agree with that because, like I said earlier in the podcast, in the 1980s, when capitalism really started rising up with them.
what is capitalism?
Capitalism is fucking greed and everything's money and da-da-da. Like, America became this thing of where you were no longer a citizen. In my eyes, with the rise of capitalism, you're no longer a citizen, you're a customer in this country. Everything's money. Even getting buried costs money. Hey, you're sick? Gotta pay for it. You this? Gotta pay for it. That shit causes stress because at this point,
So what's the counter to that?
fucking free healthcare. Like America, all this money do all this other shit. But I don't want to get into all that because it would completely detract from what we're talking about. But I do think like America has ways to where they can fix these problems with mental health. But all they do is kind of like, oh yeah, we got mental health problem.
So
But
what do you think like we can do to fix mental health?
for one, it's gotta start with holy fuck. It's on so many different levels because a lot of these people that are homeless have mental health issues. Just wander around. They just got released from hospital. They got hospital fucking bans on. This country got. We just got out of a war in Afghanistan that spent fucking how much money? Like $1 trillion. How much of that money could have went to helping out the people with mental health or the homeless people? But this government don't want to set up no kind of fucking housing for people with mental health. This country is horrible dealing with mental health on every fucking level. In fact, I think this country inebriates it a lot too because then you can make money off that shit via social media. They love that this country eats fucking mental health up and they want people to be as fucking crazy as possible. That's my honest to God truth. That's why I really do think that we as people, we need to figure out mental health because.
So what can they actually do to help the problem though? Besides money, like what do we need to do?
It's got to be money. It's got to be from a financial standpoint.
Okay,
first.
we give the money. What can we do now?
Okay, what can we do now? After that, for one, then there's got to be like almost kind of like a weird. That's the thing. In order for it to make mental health better, I think we as a people as a whole, we need to move as a unit and try to like look out for each other. But if you're gonna have these fucking assholes out there that just want to like troll you or do this and a third or want to make your life miserable because they miserable, like I learned this over time that fucking like the people who are the worst out there who treat other people like shit. At the end of the day, they need help themselves too. Like I do feel like on that kind of level where these motherfuckers who just want to just see everybody else unhappy, they want to be these assholes or just treat people like shit or this, that, and the third. It's like hurt people that hurt people like are hurting themselves in a lot of ways. I do think there's a domino effect to all that. I don't see on any kind of level that this country is trying to solve any type of mental health issue at all.
They're not, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. It's because like the whole medication system, right? Mm-hmm. We spoke about this. The whole reason is about making money.
That's all it is.
They're not actually trying to cure people. They're trying to still keep them sick, but kind of put like a little Band-Aid on it. They're not trying to really.
That's capitalism.
Yeah,
right there.
they're not trying to really heal people. And something happened like with the whole pharmaceutical company where everything's so fucking expensive now. like especially like life-saving drugs, which
Yeah.
is fucking ridiculous. Like cancer patients or whatever, people with like really real fatal issues, like where they're about to die. Their medication is super expensive, like maybe $10,000 a month on their medication. And that's crazy just to be alive. So then you think about it, like, damn, like it's really expensive to be alive and shit. And
It's a
then
price tag, bro. It's a big ass price tag on it.
yeah, like they're not really trying to help people with the fucking mental health issues. Like you can go to a therapist or whatever, but what's a therapist gonna do? Prescribe you antidepressants.
And then it costs like $400 a week if you go in person type shit. Like,
It costs money, and then on top of that, you're destroying the way your fucking brain works. You're literally disrespecting your own body with a medication that's so fucking aggressive, where it almost makes you want to commit suicide being on an antidepressant. You have to get past that stage of wanting to kill yourself. Once you get past the stage, then boom, you're okay. But here's one thing about antidepressant. Like, you can take it for so many years, right? Where if you don't take it like for maybe a day, you'll feel the effects.
Oh,
and then you can already see, like, if you know a person like that, you can already see the effects. Like, oh shit, so and so is not on their medication.
Oh, they need to get back
Because
on it.
they're acting out. They're like, oh, they're out of character, because you know them when they're in character, when they're on medication. But when they skip two or 3 days, like, what the fuck is this person? You know?
Yeah.
So then you don't really understand. Like, you're trying to look into it, like, okay, to taking antidepressants and stuff. And now I see them when they're not on it, and like, oh shit, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Here's one thing about antidepressants: if you're taking it for so many years, like, people that want to get off of it, right? They'll talk to their doctor and they'll ask them, hey, like, can I start slowly getting off of it? And then the doctor will be like, yeah, we'll try to get you off of it. We'll taper you off slowly, right?
Yeah.
So they'll slowly get off that antidepressant medicine. And they would, for like 6 weeks, they would go through like the fucking craziest, like, suicidal rages. Their brain would feel like it's zapped. They'll fucking start throwing up because they're going through like a
Like
crazy
a withdrawal type shit.
withdrawal. On top of that, because their brain is like so used to this antidepressant medicine. Like when you're off of it, the brain's like, It's like almost like a fucking war going on in your brain.
Yeah.
So you'll start throwing up and shit. And then people, like, they'll get so sick to where they have to get, admitted to the ER and stuff because they can't function because they're in so much pain.
Your body's like going on the fritz because
So,
it's
yeah.
breaking its routine.
So like for like 6 weeks, they're saying like for 6 weeks when you're trying to get off the antidepressants, for 6 weeks they go through hell. They get these crazy migraines where it's so fucking painful. Like a lot of the people that try to get off of it, when they get to the stage where it's so painful, right? They're like, fuck it, put me back on the medicine.
So I can get off this.
They don't go through it, And I know some people that was like on that shit, and then I got them off that shit.
Real shit.
Me, one person, not a therapist. I got them off that shit. Saved their life, man.
How'd you do that shit?
Fucking therapist right here.
Please don't tell me you came at them like Dr. Phil's punk ass, because Dr. Phil's
No,
trash.
man. It's my voice. I'm like, settle down. No, I'm just playing.
Relax.
It's more deeper than that. But
Relax.
I got somebody off of that shit, and
Good shit, bro.
life has changed. Different now. Shit, it's brighter. Like, oh, I got my life back. Thank God, because antidepressants destroyed their fucking life, dude.
Well, man. Meanwhile, they locking them motherfuckers out here that sell weed. Like,
Yeah.
man, what the fuck? Like, man, you better get these damn companies.
Because when you see them when they're
Everyone's
off,
selling that shit.
when they're off the medication, you're like, what the fuck is this devil shit?
The color blue? What is this?
What the fuck? Why are you in the middle of the road? It's like that. It is like that. No exaggeration. Like,
What's that?
you can't sleep. Yeah, it's so crazy.
What's that fucking shit we talked about not too long ago? But it was that book about seeing colors, and it was this town. I guess everything was in black and white, and if they like stopped taking these certain pills or whatever, they started what the fuck was it?
The island.
No, it was not the island. That's not what it's called. They had escaped a small town, and he took his little brother with him at the end.
The Giving Tree, but it's
It
called
was like an
I-
apple. It was like an apple in it. I think was it? Is that the Giving? Is it called a Giving Tree?
It's from the Giving Tree book, but I think it's called the Island.
Damn, I'm wrong. Man, I guess.
It's like they're on like
I thought it was like a Leave It to Beaver
it's,
type
all,
shit.
it's like black and white.
Yeah.
And then one guy, he decides not to take the medicine no more.
and he started seeing color.
He
Yeah.
stopped drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's like, oh shit, I see red, now blue, not green. Like, and then he was like, what the fuck is our government lying to us?
And he was like, I gotta get my brother. I think his brother's name was Gabe. I've read this shit, and so about 20
It
years
might be two different movies we're talking about.
But it was actually a book we read in school too. That's what I was trying to think back on.
Yeah.
But it's like that type of shit, man. Like you can't be medicating everybody, and
You can't, because everybody, like, their whole health is different. That's why it's sketchy how they try to give, like, one vaccine to everybody when they don't know their medical background. Because anybody could be allergic to anything. So how are you going to give it to everybody?
I do think in a society that we do live in, though, it's hard to help other people with mental issues or mental problems when fucking everybody's going through that shit. Almost everybody's going through their own shit. And how can you save somebody else when you can't even? You got to take care of yourself too. You know what I'm saying? Not to saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying like that's just the reality of a lot of things.
I think what the government should be doing is re-educating people about this mental health issue, and then re-educating on how we can get help through natural ways of getting help.
Okay.
You know, not even just with medicine, what steps that you can actually take to, you know, make your mental health better. Because that's never, ever spoken. Like, they don't even teach that shit in fucking class. You know?
No,
like,
hell no, man.
They don't teach you how to fucking, like, hey, you know, if you're going through, like, these type of mental issues, like, here's how you can get help naturally.
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, the reason why they don't want that is because pharmaceutical company, that who runs all this shit and funds a lot of politicians' fucking campaigns, that hurts them if they go against the grain. So if they, I don't know what we can do as a society to push fucking.
We gotta stop eating that shit. Stop eating that mess. Whatever they're trying to push out, like both sides, like fuck that shit, dude. Stop eating that shit up. Don't pick a side. Even though, like, let's say you're on one side, but you agree on something on the other side, like, okay, but you'll fucking die for your own tribe.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta listen to everything on your own tribe. Even like, oh, the other side, that do kind of make sense, but I can't trust it because my tribe over here, this is my tribe, I'm loyal.
Yeah.
That's the stupid part. Like, you know, they're doing that shit to keep you guys separated. We're humans, dude. We're all supposed to be one together, working on this shit together. It's never supposed to be separated like this. Never. Like, anybody that fucking ate shrooms, they know this. This is why, like, I want to fucking teach people about this shit. Because
supposed to be moving as one unit.
We're all together in this shit. We're not supposed to be separated. We're not supposed to be arguing about one side or other. We're supposed to talk about it collectively, and then we figure this shit out together as a group.
I agree real shit. Because, like, I see this planet Earth like this. Imagine 6 billion, 7 billion people. How many of us is on this planet? Well, all
Michelle Shock says, don't say your re-education. They don't like that.
Yeah.
That's cancel words.
Yes. That's why I was shaking my head earlier. I was like, you're right. I always imagine Earth as being this big ass ship, and it's 6 billion people on it, and it's got holes on it, all in this fucking ship, and it's slowly sinking. And while there's people who are trying like, hey, look, we need to figure out how to plug these holes and do this and that, you got other motherfuckers saying like, well, we need to do this and that before we even plug these holes and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Everybody's got different ways. I feel like a lot of times most people are on the same wave of how we're going to help each other out. But there's some people that's worrying about or not even caring about how the fuck what the real problem is. They're looking at some, well, we should have more lifeboats. Like, well, we're not worrying about lifeboats, motherfucker. We got holes in this ship. And if this shit sinks, we all going out. But you're worrying about trying to save yourselves or this, that, there. You ain't worrying about nobody else. Like, we got to think together as one. Not saying like a hive mind type shit, but in a way where empathy, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Like, we just need to care about each other more, and maybe mental health as a whole will maybe change start a little bit. But because we live in a society of where I think most people on this planet are fucking sociopaths. First of all, straight up, I think most people just worry about themselves and they don't give a fuck what the next guy's going on behind them or in front of them. As long as their rent's paid, this, that, and the third, they're not thinking anything outside of their bubble of survival. And because I see motherfuckers who make excuses of not even want to tip waitresses and shit, or not even want to do this or that. Just little simple things like, man, I ain't gonna tip this chick at fucking Waffle House because that's my money. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's too many selfish people out there. People need to start thinking more as like, let's worry about the next man. Let's worry about the person in front of us, behind us, whatever the fuck ever. In the perfect world, we could just ignore race, but at the same time, we need to focus on the others. Look, I guess what I'm trying to say is that in the world that we have right now, the only way mental health I think truly can be fixed is if more and more people start pointing it out and start at least putting it on fucking notice. Because at the end of the day,
start taking responsibility for themselves too,
and also no, straight up too. But at the same time too, this but when there's like real mental health problems, I mean, if a guy's a mental health problems and shoots up a fucking school, then yeah, I mean, yeah, toss his ass in jail. But if they can be helped or saved, then I mean, Because I wish y'all look out for each other. Like, I had a neighbor one time who fucking could barely put food in his damn stomach, and I was looking out for his ass at one point. Like, I try to do what I can, you know. I ain't no fucking saint, trust me. Anybody that know me, I'm not like that. But I feel like as a
I know
whole,
you. You're a saint.
No, I'm not.
Don't downplay yourself,
But
man.
I do feel like at the end of the day, though, when it comes to us looking out for each other, we gotta get better at that shit. That's before. I don't know. I feel like in the world, it's like if people have mental health issues, it's like even when I had problems at one time, I never wanted to talk about it to the world because I didn't want to be looked at sideways or looked at as being like, man, what the fuck's wrong with you? Because there's been times in the past where I've suffered through stuff and I've brought it up to my own family members. And because I'm always like this cracking jokes type of dude, all this and the third.
So when you got serious, like how did your family react to that?
Oh, calm down. It's just, like, you're just going through some things. And I got fucking pissed. I was like, wow, you just blowing me off because you always see me as this funny ass guy doing jokes. But now that I'm trying to be, I keep a lot of shit to myself. And then when I finally do share it, I close up real quick. Like a fucking like walnut. I'm like a shell. And I won't share that shit. I just keep it inside. Like just like a clam. I just close up and I don't want to share that shit. And it's because it's like when people with mental health want to come out and talk about it, the first thing they do is like, man, you always cracking jokes. Ain't nothing wrong with you. And just dismiss it.
They just think you're just a funny guy.
Like, oh, man, you'll be fine. Have a beer. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't need no fucking beer. Get out of my face. Like, I just need to talk to somebody.
Slapped it out their hand, right?
And I'll pick it up later. But that's not the point. The point is that I think another thing, too, is that if we move as a whole on how we care about people with mental health, then maybe it might be easier for people to come out and talk about it. But as a world, that's how people are. We take a shit on anybody that comes out with any type of real problem that may not fit into like our normal bubble, I guess. That's just me. I don't know. That's what I experienced.
Yeah. It is hard like that, like trying to convince somebody to like, you know, try to take care of themselves and stuff. It's hard because people, once they're in that pattern of whatever they're doing that's destructing like their own life, it's hard for them to get out that pattern. Even if you're trying to show them something. Yeah. Even if like you take them out and you show them like the light and whatever, maybe later a week, boom, they're back into the old habits again. So it was very difficult. That's why like there's something out there that can help with that, you know, to have a more longer like effect to where you can actually try to see, like realize what the fuck is going on with your life and then try to fix it on your own, like through like a form of therapy. And I will tell you guys this shit. Stay tuned.
All right.
Be right back. Hola, guys. Welcome back to the Media Hijack. Shell Shock says George Washington warned us about parties and the negative effects they would have. And he was right. Nobody listened, and we still have 2 parties.
I agree with that.
All right, let's get to back to this mental health issue. You guys want to hear a story?
Let's get it. Story time.
Yay. Story time. All right. So Bob, a heroin addict.
Who?
Not the Bob that we know.
Oh, I was about to say.
So Bob, a heroin addict, who was an addict about 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, he had the opportunity to participate in an Ibogaine ceremony led by a shaman. Do you know what an Ibogaine is?
No, I was about to ask you that. What's that?
Okay, so Ibogaine is a plant that's naturally grown in like West Africa. It's a plant that happens to contain like the psychoactive psilocybin, which is a psychedelic naturally found in a plant in Africa.
Okay.
So they would use this plant in ceremonies to where they would, you know, have people have a psychedelic experience, but it would be like, you know, like a life-changing experience. It's more like a mental therapy for the brain.
Okay.
Because let's say, okay, this dude is a heroin addict. Think about that, heroin addict. This is hardcore. Like he's been doing this for a long time. It's stuck in his head. Like he's stuck. It's just like a meth user and shit. You know, like once they start doing meth and shit, it's hard to get off of that shit.
Yeah.
Same thing with a heroin addict.
Yeah, I met a lot of motherfuckers.
So 20 years ago, he had the opportunity to do a program with Ibogaine with a shaman out in Africa, natural plant. So during the trip, right, he said that he was able to go back in time to a traumatic event that happened to him, like on different, like different event timelines. Like he said he was able to travel back to events in his lifetime where traumatic shit happened. Like, let me just give an example, because maybe this didn't happen. Let's say like he was like harassed, like when he was like 10 years old. He was able to see him getting harassed, and then he was able to change the outcome. Like he was able to do it differently.
Oh, from by seeing
Yeah,
foreshadowing,
like
or
putting a different memory in your brain. Like
Okay.
let's say like he saw the dude, but he ended up escaping like in his memory.
Okay.
So it's almost like Ibogaine, right? Kind of like made him time travel, like in his head, to a time where he had a traumatic event, like if he got raped or whatever. But he was able to go back to that event and changed it to where he didn't get raped
To change the past?
in his head.
Oh no
Right.
I'm just saying, no, like in this mentally, because you gotta
Yeah,
accept,
because you're putting like a new program in your head that happened. So like,
Yeah.
let's say like you got PTSD from getting raped, but you're able to travel back in time in your head mentally, right, from this medicine, and you're able to go to that time where that traumatic event happened, and you changed it to where it didn't happen. So you reprogram, like you never got raped.
Now, is that a good thing? Like reprogramming on?
Well, a lot of the PSD happens through traumatic events like that,
Yeah,
and it
for sure,
affects
yeah.
like their life, and this is why they go into their adult life and they're kind of fucked up because of what happened.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
let's say if that never happened,
Yeah, mentally they
So-
kind of like block it out.
yeah, mentally that shit's locked somewhere. There's a new memory, like boop, new memory.
I kind of like that, but at the same time, it's
This is I'm just giving you a story of like how
yeah, yeah.
Ibogaine
Yeah, my
works,
fault,
the
yeah.
psychedelic.
Yeah.
Because it is a psychedelic, and he was saying like he was able to travel to a traumatic event and then change the outcome. Also, what is crazy about like when he was able to do this, also like when traumatic events happen, he was able to see the perspective of other people that were there
that's witnessed
that witness whatever the fuck happened to him, so he actually sees, like he actually see and feel their perspective of what has happened to him.
the eyewitnesses.
So
and-
now he feels everything, like because like when this shit's happened to you, like you don't know what other people's thinking of you.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So he was able to go back and then he can actually feel and see and whatever they were thinking about him at that moment that traumatic effect happened. He said he would live like through the whole lifetime, like
of the people watching.
of this whole event, like him from a child to him to adult life, and it happened so fast, and all this happened within like real time, a couple hours. So when he got out of this event, dude, this guy
Clean slate.
clean. He never touched heroin again. It's not because like he didn't want to do it. He didn't feel no need no more,
Yeah.
and he was clean after that. He never touched heroin ever again.
Oh, good shit on that, then, man.
Because he was like, fuck, like all that shit, like it led up to him doing like hard drugs like that.
Okay, I thought, all right, excited. All right, in the beginning, I had a misunderstanding. I was thinking that you were going to say that it completely blocked out his memory. And he's like, I'm going to keep moving in my life. And then, or some weird shit.
No, you're thinking like government, like MK
yeah,
Ultra
like,
shit.
that's I was going to jump in that direction. But
This is like psychedelic. It's like,
yeah,
it's not blocking it. It's showing you like what could happen, or like, like, okay, it happened and things could have been different, but it did happen. And now, like, what can you really do different, like in your life right now as an adult?
gotcha.
You have to move on. Like, it's one of those things.
You got to. And it's either you learn to accept it or just find a way to put it behind you. But another thing that I did learn about, too, with a lot of mental health, which is, this is something I had an issue with that before, too, where, and actually, I think a lot of people do this a lot more than what they say. Too many people linger on in the past about shit that may have embarrassed them or shit that may have happened or something. There's one of the things they kind of just need to put behind them, like, look, it happened, it's life, move forward. Now, I'm saying, like, oh, granted, there are some atrocious fucking things that there's people need to deal with. Then that's, it's a little more difficult to move past. But I did read earlier that living in the past is a reason for a buildup of like anxiety or mental health issues as well too. So I could definitely see that shit. There was times in my life where I was like, man, I need to let that shit go because I don't like how I'm starting to act as a person every time they around because I can't forgive. I can't let that shit go anymore. And
What you have to let go.
I'm not gonna get into big ass details about it, but there's certain things that have happened. I'm kind of like, you know what? It happened. For me, it was kind of like, look, I accepted them back into my life after they did me dirty. If I accepted them back in my life and we all cool, like slate's clean, this, that, and the third, then I can't be bringing up the past anymore. Like that, like if I'm cool with you again, because I used to have this habit of where somebody would have done me dirty, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we cool.
How
whatever.
did it get you dirty? Let's get this shit like a little like spicy. You
It's,
know,
it's too many.
Spicy for Twitch people. So how did it get dirty?
It's too many people. Both where say like if I was interested in a girl wasn't digging me, or this doesn't. No, I'm not gonna say wasn't digging me. I thought there was something going on, and then but girl, go sleep with somebody else, or this happens, or whatever. And I go tell this girl or even a guy friend who probably did me dirty, whatever. Like, it's all cool, man. We gonna squash this beef, whatever. But deep down inside, I still never let go of that shit.
Wait, what happened?
No, I'm just talking about in general, just in general within my life, where certain things of where I may have gotten like with some like my whole point I'm trying to get to is that there's things that with mental health is tied to you not being able to let go of the past. And I started like I didn't realize there was an issue with me over time until where people that may have done me dirty or whatever, that I would go and say, we're cool, whatever. And
but do you mean it though?
But I didn't mean it. I was kind of, I just want to be friends with them again. And I missed them over some shit, but I never really accepted the fact that what they did. And I started treating them fucking funny or acting kind of asshole-ish towards them, even though I told them I was cool. And they were like, well, I thought we was cool. I was like, da-da-da. And over time, I had to learn of, look, if people are going to do this to you, if you can't accept what they did, then don't accept them into your life. Like, because all you doing is torture yourself by doing this shit. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, for me, over time, I had to learn to confront the past and be like, stop being such a fucking cool guy about everything and just be like, no, motherfucker, you did this to me.
Why you gotta be so cool?
Cause I'm just a cool ass dude. Like, I'm not trying to start no beef with nobody. I ain't trying to go to like. I can move past things a lot, but it's some things that I should have maybe addressed or whatever.
Yeah. Do you think like you bottle up a lot of it?
Not as much anymore. Now I just don't fucking care. I think
but like before, like you put it like on the back seat of the bus. You never really addressed it, but you wanted to,
And then over time, it was bothering me. And then sometimes where I would hang out with said person that maybe have done me dirty, and then say if I was drinking around them, my attitude would start coming out because I really never fully let go of that bullshit that I couldn't accept. Even though I said we was cool, and in a lot of ways, it wasn't fair to them because I made it seem like everything's fine when it wasn't, and I should have said something in the beginning when we were trying to at least get cool again. Like I said, it'd be like, man, we cool, whatever. And then 2 nights later, I'm fighting with them in a fucking bar because I was drinking too much and I was dwelling on some shit in the past that I couldn't let go. So that thing, but if that makes sense, like mental health things are kind of like you got to learn to accept the past sometimes and be able to move forward. What's up?
No, Bob just said. She said that's why you burned the damn bridge.
No, Bob, you too hardcore. So. Certain things, there's certain things I can see why I would burn a bridge, but I know for a fact that in my life I've done some stupid shit and motherfuckers who should not have forgiven me for accepting me back in their life, and I've always been grateful for that, and so that's why I always try to move in that certain type of way of where if somebody does it, then I do try to. I don't know.
Yeah, no, like you're trying to make like the peace and stuff. But I will talk about this because there is different personality traits, and all of us are involved in this 5 different personality traits, and we all fit into one. I'm gonna talk about it soon.
Let's get it.
Shell Shock says, Bob says, that's why you burned the damn bridge. Shell Shock says, Bob gets it.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so I'm going to talk about like personality changes. Okay, so do you think like people when they're born with like a certain type of personality and they're stuck with that personality? Where do you think personality comes from? I listen to you first.
I used to think people were born that way, but no. Personality traits is environment. Straight up.
Yep. I think the same thing. Is everything like within your environment, who you think is cool, who you think is lame, but then boom, you start building your personality up because you really think about it. We start off on Earth as a blank character, blank slate. Then your personality builds as as more you progress in life, and then you come across different type of people. Then you're like, hey, I kind of like how this person do this, or they do that, or oh, I hate whatever he did like that, so I'm not gonna do that. So that's how you build your personality into like what you call like your own personality, your trait and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you think that would be like how personality is built? Because it's not something you're born with, right?
No, I think it's just constructive, like everything in your life of where even just environments that shape and mold you. Like for example, a couple of years ago, I remember I wound up finding out that people that grow up in the hood and shit, they need to they might need to start going to therapy or PTSD because when you grow up in an environment of where, okay, you got a friend that just got murdered or an environment where there's always gang violence, that's almost just as traumatic as fucking going to war for some people. But at the same time, when you're living in this type of world, people will either like think of, hey, either I could be a victim and keep getting robbed or shot eventually because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, or I could be the motherfucker that's got the gun on him, I got the connects, and I got some type of protection for me and my family. And it becomes this weird thing of where you're gonna have to make choices in your environment, and it can lead down to some bad shit and to you going to a shitty ass person too. But I think it does start with the environment. A lot of things. Maybe you grow up in an abusive household. Dad's already be mom.
Yeah,
I had that shit growing up in my neighborhood. Not in my household, but friends who grew up in households where I had a friend one time whose dad kicked his mom out of a fucking car. She broke her arm, and then as we got older, this motherfucker was trying to put his hands on other girls in my neighborhood, but
like abuse,
like physically, like fucking, like we playing basketball or whatever, and he's being rough with girls. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm not surprised because his dad was that type of fucking character too.
Oh, so he carried on that.
So he's carrying on that same shit. I don't know what happened to that boy.
He follows that character,
and I hope he's a better man now today than he was back then when he was teenagers. Because I had known him since I was a kid, but I noticed he started being more like his father. Of how his father used to beat the shit out of his mom, break her arm, kick her down the steps.
So most of it really starts like from the household.
Hell yeah.
Like that's why parents, they have to be careful how like they are like around their kids.
Hey, where do you think racism comes from? That shit comes from the household.
But now like I think like the way like, how parents raise their kids is through
tablets.
Tablets.
Here, sit in the corner, play the salad. I've seen that shit.
Tablets is daycare.
Seen that shit so much.
Who's your babysitter? iPad?
YouTube. Hit like and
iPad
subscribe.
12?
Hit like and subscribe.
Okay, let's break down personality.
Let's get it.
Get a proper definition of personality. Okay, so the definition is pattern of thinking, feeling, and behaving that forms a person's distinctive character that distinguish you from your peers. Mm-hmm. That would be like the definition of personality.
Okay.
You know, like something that makes you different from everybody else. Like,
there,
you know, like, hey, I act a certain way. Like, oh, Chris, he comes in here like pretty aggressive. Like, okay, that's like not really my thing, you know.
But that's him.
Yeah, but that's Chris. Which is not Chris. He's actually a really calm guy. He comes in, I don't even fucking hear him. Like it's like a fucking library when he walks in.
Oh shit!
I'm like, oh fuck! Like damn, Chris is here. Like I'll be playing Apex. Like oh, Chris is in the house.
Can you cough before you walk in? Shit.
Like can I get a warning? You know, he sneaks up in here and shit.
Well, a lot of times I do say hello when I come in because I want to get shot.
Yeah.
I'm like hello, and when it's quiet, I'm like, oh, he's playing Apex. I just come on.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Chris is here. But Chris usually come in here like silent, like a ninja. Yeah. Okay, so psychologists say that individual personality structure remains stable, more or less stable, after a span of 30 years, and then following that personality, like that's when your personality starts to change. Like after 30 years, right? Like within that 30 years, like your personality really doesn't change until after. Mm-hmm. Would you say that? Because I believe like this is true because I think like, well, maybe like me, like after like I hit like 28, I noticed like I did like stuff that I didn't do before. Like I slowed down. Like I wasn't as crazy. Like I calmed down more because I know I can die, and I know I can be locked up very easily. So like my whole, I would say like I had a personality shift like maybe 28, and then I slowed down like a lot of stuff that I was doing before.
Yeah, I think mine was probably like 29. That's when. And this is after I got DUI and all types of wild shit that happened to me drunk. At 29, I think the fact that I was on 29 and I was on the brink of 30, my brain was thinking, you know what? I just spent a decade of drinking.
It's different, right?
Fucking and fighting and fucking, and then I just need to relax.
Yeah. If you were to compare yourself, like from today to 15 years ago, how your personality was, is it crazy? Like we're fucking crazy, right?
I would probably hate myself 15 years ago. I was straight up, I'd be like, what the fuck?
It was too wild. Like
why are you doing this?
I was like, damn, that motherfucker wild. And I would never do like whatever the fuck I did like that. So I, like these psychologists, they're right. They're onto something. Like we hold into like a certain personality within like the 30 years, and then it'll be like a slow change in personality because not only like you're an adult, like you realize like things are different now. Like things can really go bad at any time. Like you're not invincible no more. Like you know shit can go bad.
You know your limits.
You're responsible for all that shit now, you know?
Especially now when you hit your 30s and then one day you're walking and then your knee does something, you be like, oh shit, kind of.
Yeah, but another crazy thing about like the personality changing as you get older, you don't do like the same shit that you would do like when you're younger.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be open to new ideas to try something new. You know, like let's say if you never fucking skydived before.
Oh, that's just a rhyme. I'm not doing that
That's
shit.
like something you do like when you're younger, but then when you're older, like, I don't know about that, but you would have to go through like the midlife crisis
shit. I've
to where you're like, oh, fuck it.
I've witnessed that shit.
You know,
People don't do it.
you're getting old, you're not getting any younger. Like, let's jump out of a plane now.
You kind of like just set in your ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's 5 personality models. According to this model, there are 5 different personality traits that every person have. 5 different personality traits. Number 1 would be openness to experience, which is a tendency of being open to new ideas and experience, which tends to manifest like a preference for abstract thinking. Yeah. Like once you're open to more ideas. You're open to like different cultures. You're open to different beliefs. Like you're more willing to learn about something new.
Okay.
That's like one trait is like openness. That's what they called it. Number 2 is conscientiousness. I can't say it, but it's conscientious.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking
about. Yeah.
Which is it describes a person ability to come up with a plan and follow through on it.
Okay.
We all know a person like that, right?
Conscientious.
Like somebody who they plan something and then they plan it out perfect and they want it to happen just like that.
Yeah.
Like those people that do like let's say you're on a trip and there's that one person. Yeah, man, we can do this tour in Italy.
We do this and then hit the trains and then we go eating on this day.
Yeah, there's those people. They plan the shit perfect and they do the shit perfectly. There's people like that and there's people that just don't care. Like, I hope there's somebody who is conscientious. That I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, that's like another trait. There's people like that who plan ahead, like way ahead before, the party gets started.
Yeah, I wish I was more like that. I don't plan shit. Because every time I do, they falls apart. So I just wing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so number 3 for personality traits would be extroversion. Would be like an extrovert.
Oh, okay, extrovert. So somebody that's always out there.
It refers to a person inclination to seek stimulation from social interactions.
Yeah, I always gotta be out there.
So they have to be out there. They have to be socializing because this is where they get all their energy.
They're like, fuck COVID. I'm going here to this concert with no mask. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. They gotta be out there. They gotta be at the party. They gotta be like, oh man, I can't stay inside the house. I have to be out. These are the extroversionists. Number 4 is agreeableness. This is another trait, which describes a person's tendency to put the needs of others ahead of their own, and the tendencies to, like they like to agree with other people so they don't have to.
There's no conflict.
Yeah, no conflict.
Fuck that shit. No,
yeah.
I used to do that shit.
They put the needs like ahead of others of their own, and then they have the tendency to value cooperation over competition.
Okay.
It's like they rather like us do like something like as a group instead of us competing.
Yeah, because the thing of competition. Actually, you know what? I think I am kind of like that because I don't care about who am I competing against.
I'm like a little bit tiny like that too.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, who am I fighting for? Like if I'm not doing it for me, then
yeah,
I'm not really winning.
When I saw that, I was like, I thought about you too. Like you rather have us to complete like a mission together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really
like if you're down with that, like I'm down with that too.
Let's do it together, man. I'm not.
But like a little part of me is like,
but that feeling of competition.
We're going for the kill.
You're like,
and we want to win.
like I want to fucking win this shit.
Bob says she's an introvert.
Yeah, I can definitely tell Bob's an introvert. What did it call? I'm actually both. I can't remember. It's like introvert and then the other motherfucker. I'm cool with going out and being around people, but I can have just as much fun staying at home and watching like HBO Max.
Yeah.
And not being around people. In fact, I probably enjoyed more because it's cheaper. I'm not spending gas. And
yeah, well, these are like 5 traits. Not everybody is just one trait.
Yeah. It's like
you're like little pieces of traits.
Yeah.
Like think of it like attributes, right?
Yeah.
Let's say like you're more into like
I got 5 points in.
Yeah, conscientiousness.
Yeah.
Right? No. You're more of like a agreeableness, right? Mm-hmm. So you'll probably be like 4 out of like 7.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest one.
Right? So you'll be like, oh, okay, like you're more into like, hey, we got to work together. We got to do this shit. And
which is funny. I'm not a team player like that, but
yeah, I'll be like, hey, we got to go to the library. And Chris like, yeah, let's go library.
you want to pick you up or what?
But if it's like, if you said, hey, we got to go library, me, I'll be like, I don't know. We got to look at this shit from like another perspective. I'm more like I would be like, I have a couple, but we'll go over all of it.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Okay, so number 5, the last one is neuroticism,
Man, let me read
which
this
is
shit.
somebody's
Let me
like
see.
a narcissist.
Oh, man.
Kind of, but it's pronounced
That's-
like neuroticism. Okay, so
neuroticism.
yeah,
That's
so
hell,
it's a
that's just
person.
horrible.
It's a person inclinations towards experiencing negative emotions like fear, anger, sadness, shame, and guilt. Like these people, like it's almost like what's that word where they expect like the worst to happen. Like they're always negative
Oh,
about
you're fucking
everything.
Debbie, like a Debbie Downer.
Like
man.
a Debbie Downer, but there's a word for that. A status. Yeah.
What?
A status?
A sadist?
Sadist.
That's
That's a status?
That's why I'm here, folks.
I'm from America.
That is why I'm here.
Our education system.
I'm your translator for this evening.
Sadist.
Like sadist.
Yeah. It's like people like that, like people with neuroticism. People that fucking they're all about that negative shit. Like like even if a good situation, like it's not even anything, it's like a neutral situation,
Pessimist.
they'll end up making it into a bad situation.
Every time.
Right.
Every time. I say I stay away from people like that. They are toxic.
Someone who has a high neuroticism score tend to react more negatively to a stressful event, and is more likely to interpolate a neutral event in a more negative way. Oh yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah.
So neuroticism. I always thought neuroticism was like, he's like, you said narcissist, right? So a narcissist would be.
I guess it's like narcissist.
Somebody, chat, where you at?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, somebody's a
Number 4,
narcissist.
agreeableness. Somebody who's like willing to fucking put their knees in front of other people. Like they're willing to please somebody else before their own.
Wait, that's a narcissist. That's what you said. It was a
No,
narcissist.
that's agreeableness.
Okay, that's more positive. The last one you said, that's more like, that's my damn near like a sociopath. I think. I don't know.
Someone, who's really like negative and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can talk, now we can talk about like what we can use to help everybody achieve a higher score. These personality traits, because there is a test like for everybody. Can go home. They can test this shit to where they can see like where they rank high on the personality trait.
Yeah, they got like a test for that online. I took that like a couple years ago.
Where'd you take it at?
This website that I feel like everybody's taking off of. I think I can't remember the name of it, but it was like I was like an INJS or some shit. It was like real personality trait of just like I think it's like 4 or some shit.
Okay, that's not gonna help
I
nobody.
don't know. I should have fucking brought that.
Sorry,
shit.
I'm a narcissist.
I didn't realize we could go this deep with personality shit. If I knew that, I would have bought that shit today because this is actually very interesting of how it breaks you down from everything from what you like to do to what you dislike. It's a very good test, and there's a lot of damn questions. But I think I've taken it like 2 or 3 times in the past. But I don't know.
Yeah, like with all these traits, these 5 traits, we all
Somewhere.
carry like somewhat of certain type of traits, but some carry more than others. Some you can already tell like they're a type of a person where they rather please somebody more than they rather accept what they're doing to where they rather do on themselves.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be like the person to pick like, hey, should we go to Disneyland or Orlando Universal? They wouldn't say anything. I'd be like, okay, let's go fucking Disneyland.
Like whatever you want, man. Like I'd be like whatever you want, as long as we're not in Atlanta. Like fuck, get me up out of here. That's me. Like,
Okay, Disneyland.
let's go. I'm like cool, let's go. You paying? Cool, let's go.
Okay, so let's get back to this. There was a study published in 2018 by the Imperial College in London that involved 20 participants, 20 people that were given 2 doses of pure psilocybin in 7 days apart. Psilocybin, for you guys that don't know, is a psychoactive compound in like psychedelics.
Yes. I was like,
It makes you trip out. Yeah. So they were given pure doses, like bloop, pure dose of psilocybin.
it was like the liquid form.
7 days apart. Yeah. Liquid form. Like you can find this in a lab. If it's a real lab, they would have psilocybin, concentrated psilocybin. They've had concentrated like marijuana, crack, cocaine, everything.
Put this in your tongue.
Everything in the purest form. Meth, everything.
Yeah.
DMT, all that shit. Okay, so they took these 2 doses for 7 days apart, right? Before they took these doses, these 20 participants participated in a personality trait test, right? So they had their scores, whatever. Like, let's say some is more like a neuroticism, some is more openness, some is more of a agreeableness, some is more like introvert, some is extrovert. So they all took this test before they did psilocybin.
Okay.
After they did psilocybin, right? They did the test again. Like after they're done with the psilocybin, they're already done tripping out. They gave them the same personality test, and the people, like everybody, they scored higher in like their neuroticism, like the negative shit.
Kind of went down.
It went down below the baseline. It went down, and then stuff started going up. Like let's say you're an introvert, right?
Yeah.
Your openness score would go up. Like you'll be more open to, you'll be more open to like new ideas, new experience. Like you're more open. Like let's say, just extreme example, like you want to eat an octopus vagina. You'd be like,
oh god damn.
Before like all that shit happened, you'd be like, fuck that.
I would never eat that shit.
After experience, like, man, we're only here for so long.
Man, where's the hot sauce?
Someone says, hey, let's eat an octopus vagina. Let's go. Let's do this shit.
Where's that Texas Pete?
Extreme example. But a lot of the people, after their experience with psilocybin, psychedelics, they're more open to do new experiences, new ideas, like, hey, I never really thought about, like, a perspective of this thing that I really hated, right? And I really viewed it as something really negative, but I never really actually looked at it from a perspective differently.
Yeah.
So now I see it kind of different. Instead of having this bias, remark about a certain thing that you actually really didn't know about because you're so loyal to your people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then other people would have like their extrovertness would increase too, like their score. Like I'm saying, like this shit like as attributes, right? Like as a video game, if you guys ever play games and stuff,
RPGs
like,
and shit, bro.
you're building your attributes. So after the psychedelic trip, right, I look at it as them leveling up like in life, and then they're learning about new shit, and now they want to expand on what they know, and now they want to learn more about it.
Yeah, that's when you put points into your attributes. Like, man, I want to learn more about nature.
Yeah.
Hiking.
Yeah, like
10 points in that shit.
Yeah, now we got like 3 bars. So you want to use it on the nature? It's like that with psychedelics. So some people like they were introverts, where they're really to themselves, right? They stay indoors. They never want to go outside. They never want to be in a crowd. Like maybe they're like from time to time they're in certain crowds and stuff, but they don't really like enjoy it like that.
Yeah.
But after like they started taking these psychedelic trips, right? This is like a group of 20 people. Like a lot of them wanted to go outside their comfort zone.
Yeah.
So they start become more extrovertness. So their score for extrovertness, it got a lot higher. And then also like their agreeableness. Because let's say like, there's a lot of stuff like you didn't like agree about, like where like, okay, like let's say you never agreed on anybody. You're just so full of shit. You never took anybody else's comment like into like
consideration.
Yeah. So people like that, they would be more open to actually listening to other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most people, when they hear shit, especially in this day and age, when people hear, too many people hear something that doesn't click with their worldview or whatever, they're like, I don't want to hear it. Fuck off. I don't want to hear it.
Right.
But I can see where it's like, you know what? Let me hear what you have to say. They listen. Maybe we can build a bridge between why we so different.
Shell Shock says suspiciously specific.
Suspiciously specific. Goddamn. He was talking about the octopus vagina. That's when he said it. Which was like specific.
Melissa says, I think the personality test that Chris was talking about is this one.
Oh, Chuck.
Which is a bad word that we can't even see.
No, I think she's trying to drop a link. I think that's what it is. I think
it might be like a bad word.
I guarantee you that what she's talking about, this personality test I took, when I first took it, for like the past 4 years, everybody who was into like psychology and shit like that, people who didn't know I took that test, they're like, hey, like, you're into like psychology and all that stuff.
Oh, it is a link. Yeah.
You should take this personality test. And I took it. And I'm like, Dude, I just took this like 2 years ago, and more people kept sending me the same link over time, like new people I met.
Oh, yeah. She said everyone was taking it on Facebook and posting.
Joe, yes. But actually, though, I don't know if it was like the Facebook version of it. The one I went to was a link a friend sent me. It was actually my friend Carter sent me a link years ago, and it sent me to the actual website for the personality test. But I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook was running with that shit too. And it's pretty damn legit based off your personality type. I learned a lot about myself taking that test because I was like, damn, that shit does irritate the fuck out of me. I don't know what the hell.
What irritates you?
I'm trying to remember what on the test. I think it was asking me, I have impatience. I'm very impatient though.
Yeah, I'm pretty impatient too.
I blame that shit on what the world has given me.
Yeah, everything's moving so
Everything's
fast.
like this. Why when shit's kind of going, so I'm like, come on, man. Like, fucking move.
Yeah, and then like people like, you know, after they took this psychedelic trip, right? Like some people who were like very shy before, they would be more open to being an extrovert. Like they would want to do something outside their realm of comfortability, like in their zone. They're willing to step out of their zone.
A whole new
So
world.
if you think about that, right? Like the whole psilocybin psychedelic trip, it's basically opening up to experience that you never really tried for, because it's almost like telling you like the main thing like I got with psychedelics, because I use it myself. Like the main thing I got is they're showing you like this is your one life, right? This is your one life.
What are you gonna do?
Make a mark, right? If you can help, do it, you know, but don't do nothing. Because if you don't do nothing, like, let's say this is a simulation where you don't even matter no more, right? You can easily be taken out. You can die any day. What psychedelics made me realize was like, all this we're doing right now, like us here today, this is like a gift. You should be fucking happy. You get to wake up tomorrow and you're still alive,
Hell yeah.
right? Take that as like an opportunity.
It's a gift.
Take it as like an opportunity to do something that you really want to do, or work towards something that you want to really do.
For real, man.
You know, don't sleep on it, because
Don't-
we're only getting
It's
older,
a finite amount of time we got here.
right? It makes you realize it before something bad happens.
But because when you go get to that point, you be like, I should have did all this, and
Yeah, because a lot of
fucking
shit
pissed all
that
these
if
years
you if you ever go, it's like this one subreddit. Maybe I'm making this up, but it's like old people what they say on their deathbed. There's a lot of regrets that they say like on their deathbed, like, oh man, I should have been like more open to so and so. I should have been like,
why was I racist?
yeah, like why
What the fuck? Black people are actually kind of cool. What the fuck?
you're taking another direction, Chris.
I'm sorry.
But
My bad.
it's like they do a lot of stuff where they regret, as far as like them taking like as far as them like not doing something because they're afraid of it, because they, you know, they didn't want to be judged by like their community, because if they do like what they really want to do, because they want to stay into the guidelines of the
Yeah.
community and how you're supposed to live your life.
Because if you step outside that shit, boy, society will drag your ass. So
Yeah, so like a lot of the old people, they regret like a lot of shit, because it's like they said like they didn't do a lot of stuff because like the community would go against a lot of stuff that they would want to do.
yeah,
So they never really like did like what they really wanted to do. So they never really chased their dreams.
That's
All
also-
they were doing is just living, and they regret that, because like come on, like you work, you live, you pay bills or whatever, but you never actually really chased like a goal or something like
dream.
you really actually wanted to do.
that was something. I was reading earlier, and it was talking about on the list of one of the most stressful things that, at least with I want to say like maybe millennials, let's say people in general, right, struggle with, and they don't realize it, is a constant need to just hustle and just work and then just kind of fit inside society, and you don't want to think anything off the track, so that's laid out in front of you. Maybe because that's what people have always may have taught you, but it's a weird thing of where in this world and how society is designed, there's not really too much wiggle room to be anything outside of what you really want to be. And if you do, financially, it could probably hurt you or whatever. It's taking a risk, but or maybe just like a social standing, how you are with people, where say like if you live in a certain environment, this is how everybody thinks. If you think the opposite of that, then you're gonna be fucking looked at a certain type of way. So you kind of just like, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about how I feel. I'm just live my life based off of the world I live in. I blame that on like I was talking about earlier in the podcast, where that's why I say when it comes to people's mental health or how they want to move as a person or how they maybe want to vent their feelings, the best way to do it is if people should have to be able to hide who the fuck they are or whatever they think is right. People of a society should be able to have these conversations, talk, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, Bob says being gay in the open, that would be like one thing. Like,
yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I think like right now in society, it's more of like an open thing to where people don't question no more.
It's
okay, like
more
if
accepted.
you come out as gay, it's not a big deal, like how it was like before. So that would be like one example of something like you coming out being true to yourself, like to where you don't have to fucking look over your shoulder or whatever and shit, you know, because you're about to suck dick and shit. But
well. No, I'm trying to get my composure together because I do.
Because it's like I would imagine like a weight off of their shoulder, like fuck, I can finally be like whatever the fuck they wanted to be, you know.
I remember when years ago, long time fucking ago, right? When my sister came out to me, like I came back home on vacation, right? Mm-hmm. I was on vacation I was in the military time, came back home.
Slow down a little bit.
Drunk with the family. Everybody went to bed. And me and my sister stayed up one night. My younger sister, we drinking beer or whatever. And she came out to me as being gay. And I remember she was crying about it. And I remember I was talking to her about, she was explaining everything to me. And me, in my drunk brain, when she's explaining everything to me about like how she been gay, I remember I bust out laughing for a second.
Like you already knew, right?
Like, I was like, bro, like we fucking like you were like another brother to me and this, that, and third. Like you had your girly moments, like you like to wear makeup. But you weren't hanging out with our older sister Ashley when she was doing whatever the hell.
You're out there on the skateboard doing
like you
kickflips.
playing basketball with me, and we were doing tricks on bikes, breaking each other, like fucking running to bird baths, like trying to play football and shit. Like
you already knew.
So I was kind of like, and then what I'd explained to her too is like, at the end of the day, this is who you are, and if you can't learn to accept that this is how you are in a person, then you're not gonna be able to be happy. Like don't stop worrying about how everybody's gonna teach you, but.
So she came out first to you.
To me before anybody else. Years before anybody else came out to me. Not she came out to me. Years before she came out to my family.
Yeah.
Years before. She came out to my family.
Did you guys all already knew, like suspected like that?
I think my dad maybe kind of knew, but I think they was kind of like whatever. Or maybe, I don't think they really like I think it was all like me. It was kind of like Lisa, younger sister, she's cute, she's attractive, this, that, and the third. And dudes like her and didn't think anything more. She was just like a tomboy. But she got older and she came out as being gay one night. And when she told me, I was like, look, at the end of the day, if you can't be happy with how you're living and you have to live in secret, then what are you doing all this for? And then just talk to her about it. And then she was crying to me about it. And then for anybody who don't know this shit, and I don't give a fuck who wants to disagree with me on this, I don't care. When it comes to the black community is fucking extremely harsh with the gay community.
Still today?
They might have gotten a little bit better, but they've been known to be horrible with the LGBT community.
You think it's like a tribal thing?
As far as
like that?
No, it's more of and it's not so much the females that take the shit for being lesbians. It's the males in the black community that take the bigger hits. Like females, if you're a gay female in the black community, you straight. You'll be accepted a lot more than.
But with the black guy,
with a black guy, it's so much more worse because the term like saying call somebody a punk or whatever, that means gay in the black community. Like, man, you ain't nothing but a fucking punk. This, that, and third.
Thank you.
Oh, appreciate it.
I kid. Thank you.
Thanks. But yeah, within the black community of where if you're a male who is gay, you're called a punk. Or if in the black community, if say like my cousin or somebody black around me were like, man, you ain't nothing but a punk. That's an insult. That's saying like you're a gay dude in the black community.
Because they're weak, right?
Because it's demonized in the black community. Now the black community's came a long way with that shit, but they still got that kind of moment. But the fact that my sister had to be so scared to come out and even had to tell my parents about how she felt, it just shows how fucked up this world can be when it comes to accepting people for who they are. And that's why LGBTQ and all this other shit, or everybody who's like, if you're not hurting anybody, you're not trying to kill anybody or any kind of thing fucking horrible, if you're just trying to live your life as who you are, I'm gonna stand by it 100% because I've seen what it's like when people try to hide and what it's like, how the detriment does to the psychology of a person where they're trying to fake it till they make it. It's horrible, man. It's.
So now she's like fucking free, flying like an eagle.
She don't give two shits.
Well, that's what's up,
and
man.
She's so much
she
better
got that
for
shit,
it.
Like she got over it, and then everybody's cool with that shit. So now,
but it just those like that's one of the things I've always picked about. Like, this should not be a world where people should not feel comfortable without being able to just live their life the way they should, especially if it's not hurting anybody. That's me. Okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna go ahead and well, Billy take care of that. I'm gonna go ahead and read what's going on in the chat. Shell Shock says it's because being gay is viewed as emasculated. Yes, I'm a huge believer that within the black community, toxic masculinity is fucking insane to me. It doesn't do any of us any good, but that's some whole other thing. But anyway, Shell Shock says it's because being gay is viewed as emasculated, and since black men we emasculated with boy doing segregation, it's a negative stigma that's trickled down through the generations. Gotta be a man. Yes, that is fact. That within the black community, the fact that you gotta it's hammered in. If you want to be a gay guy, it is holy shit. The 90s was horrible with that shit. The 2000s were. I think now when with a lot of people within my community, when they're starting to realize it's like, look, anybody can be this way. They ain't hurting nobody. It's calmed down a little bit, but still, the fact that you have to live in fear and you can't even talk about who you love, that just off of that alone is a problem to me.
hey Chris,
what's up?
I love you.
I love you more, man.
There it is, man.
Just don't say it on my side of town. I got a lot of black folks. So.
Don't be afraid of ever
No,
thinking like people will think like.
shits.
No, I know you don't care. Like, even as like friends, like we can play around like this. Like, you know, like I always say, like play gay and shit. Like it makes the bond tighter because you're more comfortable with each other.
Yeah, man.
Because you already know, like, okay, like
I know he ain't gay. This ain't gay.
yeah,
Like, we
yeah, I'll suck his dick.
We close on that.
You know,
level.
like fuck it, whip it out. You know, like
see.
we're cool like that. So like it's comfortable. That's how you build that tight bond. Because we don't fucking care. Like okay, like.
I bet you won't show me. Like, well, all right.
Yeah, like one time, right? I know Robert's not in here, but one time we're doing like kickboxing and shit, right? And I was like I was wearing shorts. What happened? It happens to have like a slit. It has
already.
a slit in the short, right? You know, I was kicking the bag, and then my dick popped out, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was out for a long time, right? It's crazy story.
That's a long
I
time?
never even spoke about this.
Let's get it. Let's hear it.
Just popped out. And he was like, "Hey, your dick's out." I was like, "Oh,
This is what Robert
shit."
said?
Yeah. And then I just popped it back in. We went back to work and shit.
But that was it?
But yeah, that was it. But I'm saying like when stuff like that happen,
You keep it moving, man. It's like,
it's whatever. Like, right? Like,
yeah, no, real shit. You just keep it moving. My eyes.
keep it moving. It ain't gay. Like, what the fuck? He saw my dick. Okay, well, let's get over it.
It's not like you trying to rub it against his legs. It just happened. Just keep moving.
Like if Chris dick pop, I'm like, hey, Chris, put your dick back in, man.
Oh, you got a third leg? I mean, put it back.
Hold on, I got you.
Let me roll this up for you right quick.
Nothing personal, man. I'm just trying to help out.
Let me.
Yeah, not a big deal.
No, it really ain't, man. And that's what I think where it comes to things, which I do think toxic masculinity is a mental fucking problem too. Because on some level is where I think it's like this. I sort of learn, especially living in Atlanta. If anybody lives in Atlanta, especially out, you know how this shit goes down. Some of the most hardest motherfuckers out here that want to talk shit about gay people, this, done, a third, that always want to act all hood and always got the burn on them and shit. They be the ones with a boyfriend on the side. Why they got a baby mama and this shit.
Yeah,
It's like,
where they're trying so hard to convince.
why are you
people
trying
that
so
they're
hard to
straight.
be something when that's just, motherfucker, you like dudes too? Shit.
Yeah, like let me give you an example of like a meme video that I saw. Well, they're saying like, okay, look at how like these big guys eat bananas, right? So they'll take a banana. Right?
Oh my God.
They'll break it off by little pieces, then they'll shake it in the hand, and then they'll eat it. They wouldn't eat a banana normally, like you peel it and you eat it.
Just eat the
They'll
peel?
break it off like a little bit, then they eat it.
Oh, by piece by piece.
Piece by
oh,
piece.
because
To
they
make it
don't
look
want
like they're not doing a blowjob.
Oh, I saw that with like a popsicle one time. Just like they'll bite it off by one piece.
Yeah, I was like, fucking, like, come on, like,
bruh.
are you gay or not? Like, well, just eat that shit.
I
The
wish
fuck?
I eat bananas every day at work. I wish I could see the security camera footage of me. I'm like
Deep throat.
and I just eat it. I'm like
Like, oh, that's one bite. Hold on, Chris. That's one bite.
What's the rest of the banana? No.
And then like people watching security like, oh no, that's a baby banana. Like, oh, and then another guy's like, no, that's a regular sized banana. Chris took one bite.
It's like that banana got.
It's almost like he's practicing.
People like that banana got GMO, man. What the fuck?
A GMO 12-inch.
It's just,
One bite, Chris. That's gonna be your nickname. Like when you go back to work, like, oh shit, that's one bite, Chris.
like, hey,
And that's
calm
you
down.
downing a banana in one shot.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
like,
better than deep throat, Chris. One bite is more normal.
but like, the one bite's normal.
Like if I was working there, I'd be like, it's not deep throat, it's one bite.
Hey, look, they
Yeah.
took a bite.
Shell Shock says, I'm gonna dive back down the rabbit hole and come back more educated on it. But toxic masculinity can be traced back to World War II propaganda about being tougher than the enemy. That's another thing about like the people that was in the World War II era, how they were
The man of mans and women
Yeah,
women
like-
stay home and
Right.
fucking take care of the kids and
like,
shit.
there's no trace of like gayness or somebody who was puny or wasn't strong or whatever.
Bro, have you ever seen
They
Brokeback
were
Mountain?
built different back then.
You ever seen Brokeback Mountain?
No,
Man, that shit is
I know about it though.
that everybody knows about Brokeback Mountain, but I don't think a lot of guys have watched it. I watched it probably about 10 years after it came out, and that movie is heartbreaking. By the end of the movie, I'm like, why couldn't he just accept that's what he was? Like, you got a whole family, I get it, but
That's society, man,
It's
and that's like in
sad.
the movie form,
it is. It's very fucking sad.
But it's more open now. Because there's a lot of more Netflix shows now. Every single Netflix show, they have to show something about like LGBTQ
There's a section.
GK community.
There's a section for it. I'm not saying I dive that deep into it. That's not. I don't think I'm the audience for it, but I respect it, man. I think everybody needs to have a corner. Man, I was happy at one time. I think Netflix came out with like an Asian section. I'm like, I was like, what? Let's get a Native American section too. I want everybody to have a section. That's how I learn, man. I'll be watching shit.
Okay, so back to like therapy for like mental illness,
Yeah.
mental health. Okay, so after these people, they go to like these psychedelic events, right? So some of the people that had mystical experiences, like they increase like their openness trait by a lot. Like their score for openness is a lot. Like if you had a mystical experience, because some people they take psychedelics and then all they see is like just a lot of visions and stuff, but it's nothing like mystical, right?
Yeah.
Me, I had both. My first one was actually a mystical experience where it blew my mind so much where I was like, fuck it, this is my world and I want to come back to this world. That's why I learned how to do like the mushroom ecology and everything.
Yeah.
That's why I got really deep into that and I made it happen and shit. Because I had a crazy mystical experience where this shit was so fucking magical where I was like, fuck it, I need to come back here and I want to learn more. Because I was learning a whole bunch. I was learning like a lot of shit about like myself, not just myself, but like my past, about my ancestors, because I saw everything. It wasn't like it was a game or anything, or like I was seeing something like it was fake, What I saw, because I felt it, right? The whole thing about this whole experience is what you feel when you're taking the psychedelic. It's not visuals mostly. Is you'll see it, right? But you'll feel it. You'll feel in your heart like what you saw is real. So like what I felt on this first psychedelic trip where it was like the magical trip, I saw my ancestors came down and told me, they said, hey, we're your people, we're here. This is the only way we can communicate for now, until you pass over when you're done
With here.
doing what you're doing here on Earth. But when you're done here, dude, you're back over here with us because it's a completely different realm. And when they said that, I felt it. I saw it, but I felt it, and I was like, I felt relieved, because I was thinking like, okay, like what am I doing here? Like what is my purpose here? I felt like a lot of stuff I'm doing, it has no purpose. You know, I'm doing so much shit. I don't feel like there's like a real purpose to it. That's why I was so fucking confused. That's why I started going on these psychedelic trips, trying to figure out what the fuck my purpose is.
Yeah.
I saw that, dude. I think everybody's purpose here is just
I
it's to live your life. It's not really no real purpose. Is don't regret anything because you're here for one lifetime. Your lifetime is like a snap of a finger, right? Mm-hmm. So like whatever you're doing here, it's gonna happen so fast, dude. You're gonna be here, but that's why it's almost like saying, hey, make the most out of it because when you're done, you got to go back to whatever you're supposed to do.
Yeah, back to
right. There's like another
This is like an intermission to me. This is reality.
Yeah, like even like our family here, like when we pass on, our family here, right? Let's say like when we actually really pass on, they're not actually really our family in another realm. Like Bob, for example, like Bob, you're like my far like friend from far away.
That's crossed my mind, man, and I hate that feeling. I hate it.
But like you're not really like my family like that. Like you're not even from my planet, you know.
I did always think that. Well, I'm kind of middle with it, but when I really think outside the box of reality, think about everybody's time on Earth right here is either this is like our moment to learn and.
It's to learn
to learn about everything else, of everything on this planet, and try to learn about our people as most. And after that, once we move on, that knowledge we can use to something bigger. But it's like we're given. It's basically like you're. How can I think of it? It's like you're an agent on a mission, and hey, this is the family that you're assigned to, and this is the family that you're gonna have. But after that, it doesn't go any further past this planet. Like your real lineage is some cosmic level shit or whatever, but I hate that feeling because the family I have right now and I love, I was like, when I think when I'm like, man, I hope this shit ain't like that in some way because
like it's more deeper, right?
Yeah, but when I think that deep on that level, it's scary.
Once you experience like that type of like a psychedelic trip, when you know like for sure 100% when you're done here, there's already people out there waiting for you because you already belong somewhere else. Like some people here, when they go through like depression, right? One main thing about like with depression that people go through, a lot of people don't talk about, is like when they feel isolated and they feel alone. They feel like nobody's on their side. They feel like, you know, like whatever team there is, like they believe like they're on no team.
Yeah.
Which is like the most dangerous type of like depression.
Yeah, it's just like you got nobody to talk to, nobody who's going.
Yeah, they're like on the fringes. They're on the outskirts of society. You know, they don't. Yeah, they don't contribute nothing because they feel isolated. Yeah. So here's like one thing about ways that we can do like to improve like our mental health, because it's already like something crazy. Like you already know what I'm gonna talk about. It's like psychedelics. Psychedelics is probably the most like calm / extreme way of you actually the first steps of you taking like a step to fixing your mental health. Psychedelics will be the first trip, because it can take like a fucking heroin addict to fucking completely go cold turkey, stop taking heroin. It can take like a crackhead addict completely cold turkey, stop taking fucking crack cocaine. It's that extreme. Like even like with people who smoke cigarettes, and I know that's like super addictive.
Man,
but I know like if you take like a really high dose of psychedelics where you actually have like a mystical experience, where you experience like life like beyond your own life, you're seeing shit like beyond the veil. You're seeing, it's so hard to explain because stuff that I saw, I can't even explain it myself. It's more like I was saying earlier, it's like a feeling process. You feel it. You know, if you feel it, you're like, oh shit, this is fucking real. I have to take this shit serious. And they're saying, hey, you gotta fucking chill your fucking balls. You're only here for a short amount of time. Take care of this shit, clean yourself up, and then do what you're supposed to do here. It's almost like that. It's like, clean your shit up. But you'll feel it. And then after that, like fucking...
That's real shit. You definitely feel it before you even say it out your mouth. Your brain
like,
will be...
It's a feeling shit. It's so hard to explain too. It's one of those things that if I say, oh, it's like magical, people will be like, oh, yeah, this guy's like bullshit. But
I think it's more of like a psychological like course correction where you no longer, your brain's no longer being controlled. Like for that moment in time, your brain's not being pulled in one direction by any kind of like heroin
by, like,
or drugs,
society or
or anything.
Medication.
It's kind of like pulling you out the situation and just cutting everything off for a second. Like, okay, what do you really think is what the fuck is going on? And let's break this shit down. 'Cause I feel like on some level, I do truly feel like with people who are stuck on drugs or anything like that, if they had any other option, they would not want to do it. But the thing is, it's hard to get these motherfuckers off the shit.
Yeah, it is hard.
Very
it's
difficult.
So fucking hard. It's not like a one type drug thing. But I bet you, like, people who undergo like a psychedelic treatment, they would be more successful in a person that is going to like a traditional rehab.
Yeah.
I swear to God, this shit, it works way better than that traditional rehab.
I believe that shit.
And what's crazy about it, it's so fucking cheap you can do it. Like, dude, I can feed a whole fucking village with like $10 of growing mushrooms.
But I don't think it's easily accessible as even that's just hard to get your hands on than marijuana.
It is.
It's
You
not
just
like
have
this,
to know some people.
A shroom guy down the street.
You just got no mushroom, man.
I think for the general public, most people
It is hard.
don't know how to grow that shit. People have problems growing weed, so weed is like low tier compared to, in my opinion, I ain't no expert on this shit. I'd assume it's lower tier than.
Yeah, but when I say easily accessible, like I'm saying, like once you can grow this stuff, you can easily grow so much. Like once you figure it out, you can grow so much to where it's so easy to treat like a lot of people. Like so you can treat like the masses so cheap. You don't have to manipulate no drug because it's all natural. Once you grow it, boom, you can grind it up, boom, give it as exactly how it is. You don't have to add no extra shit like how they do with pharmaceuticals. Well, this is a whole bunch of different drugs mixed together to make something. This is just what we're talking about, like with shrooms. It's just fucking mushroom grinded up. Yeah. And that's all you're giving to the patient. You're not fucking doing no extra shit. This is just natural shit.
Hey,
that's why I'm saying, like, it's so cheap to produce it. If it's actually, like, produced like that, it's so cheap to do it where you could fucking heal the whole world from this mental illness.
So with everything...
Wake everybody the fuck up.
So with everything with that, what do you think would be the course? Like, what would be the right direction for us as a society with dealing with psychedelics? What do you think would be, like, the best direction to go?
The first thing would be to re-educate people about psychedelics. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not this crazy cartoony drug.
Oh, man.
Re-educate people, like, don't show like this is like a drug like that. Show like it's like a type of medicine to cure, like, your fucking soul. Yeah. It's like medication to cure the soul. Like, that sounds crazy, too, but...
Yeah, you do like sell it into like a...
It's hard, like, because the society, like, the way their brain is functioned, they need everything to be, like...
Demonized?
No, like legit. Like it sounds like okay, it's been commercialized, like in a factory. Like no, like doctors how they talk about
the scientists would do it in the government. Yeah. I mean, but then I think right now psychedelics is going through the same phase that fucking weed went through at one time, where it was like the devil's lettuce, bad, and then now kind of since weed is so fucking normalized at this point, to where you got fucking celebrities talking about straight up on live television or whatever the fuck ever, or just influencers talking about they fucking smoke weed. Back in the 80s, that shit was like fucking black. That shit was such a horrible look.
See, the big difference between like weed and psychedelics,
but
weed, you can become addicted to that.
Yeah, you can be
like,
addicted
you
to
can
anything.
really like it. Mushrooms, I swear to God, there's nobody that's addicted to mushrooms.
I've never felt a need to want to keep taking it.
Because I don't like it.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing too. I don't like taking it.
Yeah, it's more like I was like, oh man, I gotta take another trip. It's almost like let's say like I feel like I need like a type of like mental like escape.
Yeah, just for a second.
And I would dread this, dude. Like I would plan it too. Like I'm like a mushroom guy. Like I'm so into it. I'm really into mushrooms. Yeah. And for me to take a trip, I actually dread it, right? I would plan a date like, okay, I'm going to take a trip on here. I don't look forward to it, but I know I have to do it, you know, because I feel like my brain, like I feel like...
I need a cleanse.
Yeah, not just a cleanse. Like I feel like I went off like the lane a little bit and I'm looking for guidance again. So I'll be like, okay, on this day, I want to do shrooms. The reason why like I dread it, because, you know, I'm doing a solo trip. It's very scary, you know, because
I do baby doses. Mine should be weeks, but...
Yeah, I do like the real dose where you actually see like visuals and stuff, and then I play it back like with music. And I don't look forward to this because sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's very scary.
Bad, yeah.
That's like the one thing. Like, it could get scary too, but maybe that's just me. But if I were to do like this into like like an environment where I'm actually treating people, I feel very confident that I can get you guys on the proper trip like you're supposed to have, not like this no magical trip. I feel so good. Like I can put all you guys in a trip, like a real trip to where you guys are gonna have vision. That's how much like I studied this plant, and
Man,
I did it with my own self. And
I've been like this since you like the most knowledgeable person I know on this planet when it comes to this shit. This is the new wave, man. This is the new wave to be on.
It is.
Because the weed shit is kind of like played out. Is that weed is that's just to me. Marijuana's on that level with alcohol. It's just like do it responsibly. Too much of it's bad, like anything else. The end. Marijuana. Some people want to make it seem like marijuana solves all problems. No, it don't. I'll be the first one to tell you that. No, it don't. But it do kind of like makes you kind of hold a mirror up to yourself. You're like, what? Oh my god! I think the one crazy trip I went on one time, it made me be like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? Like, oh my god, why are these walls brown? I need to take a shower. Like my brain was just like, oh my god, I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
But I was just nitpicking like little shits of where I need to make adjustments with myself. And sleep was one of them. That's why I sleep better now.
yeah, sleep is very important.
I sleep so much better.
You have to, like, when you sleep, like what it does is all that gunk that's built up like in your brain, like when you're awake and stuff, all that needs to be fucking flushed out when you sleep. Because if you don't flush that out, right, the reason why like people have Alzheimer's and stuff is because they don't really get sleep. So because all that gunk is built up.
Is all built up, man.
Yeah, it's built up, but then it fucks with your memory and shit. So if you guys, because let's say like you guys don't get like sleep like that, right? Like you think about your memory, like you do stuff and you forget it. Because I haven't got sleep like in the past couple of days and shit, and then I would do stuff and I would forget. Like when I was trying to do this whole stream show, I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I forgot. It's like that. Like if you don't get like enough sleep like that, it doesn't flush out that gunk that's in your brain, and then you end up losing like memory. Like
Dude,
you end up forgetting stuff.
I even had to stop taking naps at one point just because it was cutting into my sleep of a full night good sleep. I don't know. The way I move right now, sleep is so I didn't realize like how precious that shit is towards somebody's mental health until recently I started doing it. And man, get that rest, man. That is key. Shell Shock in the chat says, reproduce, protect the species, and live your life. That's why we are here. Shell Shock's a parent too. That's why he says that. And then honestly, that's real shit though. Once you have a kid, that your life is who you are as a person, that shit changes. Like the tonal shift is so vastly different. I don't have any kids myself, but that's why I'm kind of holding back on it.
It's like you're living like two different realities.
Yeah, it's two different. Like that's why like the life I got right now, I'm trying to enjoy it. I got some people out there trying to pressure me to want to have a kid, but me, I'm like, no.
Talking about your
Mom.
Call her out, man.
Whoever the fuck ever
Call her out. She's like a listener on the show, right?
Well, actually, no, it's not even my mom.
Call her out by the first name.
No, I shouldn't even listen to the show like that. But as far as, or just like even older co-workers and stuff like that, like, oh, you're 36, man. You want to have a kid now?
Like, never fucking people that barely know you that's giving you advice.
Oh, no, I don't sweat it. No, that's the point I was going to get to. Like, I don't sweat it because right now I see everybody else with kids. I'm like, okay, I get the gravity of the situation of being a parent, and I've seen people either struggle but fucking buy my baby formula, daycare, like that's not a life I want right now. I like, if I had a kid right now, I guarantee you I would not be able to do this podcast anymore. That shit would be such a huge shift of things. But I understand the responsibility of having a kid. So
I think you would still be able to do a podcast with the kid.
Oh my god, I'd probably be tired as shit though. I'm like, But hey, you don't mind if I bring Junior over for one episode? Like, he gonna be in the back and be quiet. He ain't gonna say shit. He be in the corner next month.
Yeah, the mic.
Raven's backpack.
Yeah, Mike won't pick him up.
Just put some duct tape over his mouth. Just fucking won't stop crying. Holy shit!
All right, we're gonna finish up this episode real quick. So, okay, so let's imagine like somebody who holds like contempt in their heart, right? Mm-hmm. Where they can't. Their views is so strong they can never look at like something in a different way.
Okay.
You know, like what psychedelics can do is actually make you see things in different perspective to where you're not so tied down to what you believed in. Okay. You get it? Like this is what break the barriers of these two parties. It doesn't matter like what you believe in, shit. Once you take like a mushroom, it it's gonna break all that shit down to make you look at the overall picture of what's going on. It's not what's right, what's wrong, who's right or who's wrong and shit. Is like what we were talking about earlier. Is what we can do together to make a bad situation better. It's not like stop fighting. Oh, because you're so loyal to this side, like you're not gonna agree with like one little thing on the other side, and vice versa. Same shit. Yeah. You guys are gonna be bickering about some shit on this side, that side, and then I like the way that they did something on this side, but I can't like admit it because I'm on so loyal to this side. So it's what mushrooms do, like you eliminate that whole fucking aspect of these two different parties and shit. It's so hard to explain. Like, if you guys were to do like the trip, you would understand more. Like, I wish like more people in the chat like actually did this and can understand more like where I'm coming from, because it's so hard to explain because it's not something that you can really explain. It's more of like I was saying, it's more of a feeling process. Like
experience it.
When you feel it, like you can't even fucking deny that shit. When you feel it, you're like, oh shit, like this is real. Like you fucking feel it, and then you'll fucking laugh because like oh my god, and then
this is what I'm sweating over.
And then you're like oh my god, I'm in this fucking world, and now I'm fucking here's the real shit, and I have to live through this. Yeah. Because there was a time, right, where I took the shrooms and stuff, where I got so deep to where I asked them, I said, show me the real reality. And they told me, here's what they said. They said, if you want to see the real reality, let go right now. We'll show you.
Oh, that's kind of scary, though.
And I saw, like, the veils, right? Like moving. I was like, they said, if you want to see the real reality, let go right now. We'll show you. First thing that came to my head was like my family here. I was like, okay, if I let go of this reality, will I die in this reality? And then people will be like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? He just died doing a mushroom trip. So that's where I panicked when they said that. I was like, fuck. So immediately I said, I don't want to know. I'm not ready yet. Yeah. Boom, close. Door closed. Boop. And then later, when I would try to go back on a trip, like weeks later, I was like, I want to trip out like today. So I tried to go back. Boom, I was blocked off. And a week later, blocked off. Nothing. They won't let me through. And I was like, what the fuck? What happened? So I felt like I disrespected something on the other side. Because let me tell you guys this one thing.
I mean, you did tell me you weren't ready.
Like, even though our viewers went down, but let me tell you like this one thing. Like, they're always watching you. Like, it sounds crazy. It does sound crazy, but everything you're doing, everything you guys are doing, you guys are being watched. Everything is being noted. They're writing down every fucking shit you're doing.
We ain't talking about the government.
Even right now, like what we're talking about, like, oh, these guys talking about us.
They're getting too close.
Like, oh, they're talking about us. It's infinity. That's fucking crazy. Like, that's when I started watching what I do.
Yeah, man.
Your shit's recorded. They'll call you out so easy, man. So crazy.
They keep bricks of that shit. They have all the shit.
Oh my god.
All the shit I've watched when they show like people go to, I guess, whether I've watched a movie or something, but when they get to that point of going to the afterlife, they always get to that gate and they're like, all right, so you did this and this and this. Yeah, but it just shows like, at least on a religious side, it's like, okay, St. Peter, who I think sits at the gate of heaven. Right. He's like, okay, well, you did this in your life. Ooh, so you end up in the wrong line. Yeah, you're supposed to be going to hell. To doom. You go to hell.
You did this one shit and you porn?
They keep tabs.
What you did on the dark web? What? Oh my god, you participated in that?
You thought about what? Go by.
But it's crazy how, like, people, how they believe, like, in one God. Yeah. Like, when you do psychedelics, it's almost like, I might get chewed up by this. It's almost like there's no God, but there is something higher than all of this.
Something we can.
It's not just one God. It's so much people doing stuff behind the doors that it make it seem like it's God, but it's almost like the workers beyond whatever the true high power is. But it's so beyond that. It's so crazy where I can see it going. You see the vision of, like, you keep asking questions, right? They keep showing you shit, like, where it's impossible for you to get. It keeps building up. Like, oh, you want to ask this? Oh, there's another step above that. And then you see all these steps to where you're like, okay, understand. This shit is, like, infinity. We'll never find the end of the answer.
This shit will never end.
So, like, for us, like in this lifetime, it's not for us to find like the answers of like your own life. It's more of a live your life. Like it is like what's the word? Cliche. Like it is
Live
real.
your
Like
life, yeah.
live your life to the fullest. That's like the realest shit like you can do.
But in this journey, build up some karma points. That's how I'd be like, build up some karma
build
points.
up like help along the way, but live the life like how you want to live. Don't be stuck in like a fucking pattern. Because we're human beings. We're not supposed to be stuck in patterns.
I gotta change up a little bit. Keep the excitement going. Like try to learn. Dude, I try to learn something new every fucking day I'm on this planet. Every day I wake up, I'm like, let me try to find something I need to learn something new, and boom, boom. Whether it's a YouTube video or something I've read.
Yeah. Because there's like another thing, like they're saying like people who do like psychedelics for the first time, like let's say for example, you're not into crystals or nothing, right? You don't want to expand like your horizon of learning about something new because you think it's just like bullshit. So they're saying like people who do psychedelics, right? Once they're done with the psychedelics, they test their scores again with the personality traits, and they score really high for like openness, which be like openness would be like somebody who is more open to new ideas, new ways of like how other people are living. So they're saying like a lot of the people like in the study group, they would be more open to the form of, for example, like with crystals, like for healing, for protection, for whatever, they're more inbound in that realm because they know like, oh, realm does exist.
Yeah. They got some kind of knowledge of its
And
existence.
something about crystals, like I was saying a while back, they hold certain type of knowledge, like from wherever that shit has passed by from. Because let me give you like an example of what happened to me when I went to like a gym show, right? I bought this crystal. It's called the blue kyanite crystal, right? Because I heard that this type of crystal, it can help you have lucid dreams. It can help you do astral travel if you're trying to do astral projection, right? It's more like a dream type crystal, blue kyanite, really cheap. You can find it everywhere. But I found a whole bunch at this place. I bought like 3 big pieces. And then first night, right? I put the biggest piece like on my dresser, and that first night, my dreams were so fucking crazy where at first I didn't know if it was like a dream or real life because it's so many dreams, like a whole bunch of dreams like mixed up together. But the one dream that I remembered was when I was in the restroom, and then I was like, okay, let's say if the door was locked, right? And I can't get out. Boom, the door was locked. I couldn't get out of the restroom. I was like, oh shit, I'm lucid dreaming. This is me in my dream.
Okay.
And I never, ever in my whole life had a lucid dream, like where I know I was dreaming.
Yeah.
So when this happened, I was like, oh shit, the stone is real. Like it helped me lucid dream. So I was excited. I was happy. And then I was like, okay, let's say I was in the restroom, right? And I saw somebody's feet taking a dump. I said, okay, let's say if that guy was like Slender Man with octopus arms.
And this is before you saw him step out the stall. This is when you saw the feet. You saw the feet in the ground.
I just imagined. I was like, okay, let's say that guy's Slender Man. Because I'm lucid dreaming. I was like, okay. I was making up shit.
If I can control reality, let's do this.
Yeah. Boom, this dude kicked the door. It was so real, right? When he came out, it was so real where I was like, I'm out. I'm done. And I started hyperventilating. And then I breathed so hard to where I snapped out and I woke up like instantly.
You're like, wake me up, wake me up.
Yeah, and then when I woke up, I was like, holy shit, I was lucid dreaming for the first time in my life because of this kyanite crystal.
You unplugged yourself from the Matrix, man.
Yeah, then I was like, holy shit. And then like I told Terry about my dream. I was like, they're not gonna believe me. Because this is the first day I bought the crystal, and I was like, I didn't know it was gonna happen like that.
Get that intelligence boost.
Yeah, it's so fucking wild. Like people can say like crystals is like woo woo shit or whatever, but
that's good, man.
It's all like your own experience. Like
the first time I saw seeing crystals when I saw like I think my grandmother saw having that shit like in her apartment, but it was more like this shit right here. That like I was
amethyst.
Yeah, I would see like that type of thing. When I was a kid, I thought it was a dinosaur egg just by the outside. I was like, what's this like? This is what the inside of a dinosaur eggs look like, and I'm like, over time, I was like, oh, this is fucking Earth. Like this is
yeah. It carries.
But I always wondered why like I would see older people having that shit in their apartment sometimes. Yeah, at least older people I grew up around or whatever.
Oh, we went overtime. Too much.
Hell yeah, I gotta piss so bad too.
But yeah, mental health, guys.
Take care of
A
yourselves.
lot of ways you guys can help.
It's,
If you guys like know me personally and you guys feel like you're trapped or something, if you guys really need help, message me. I won't charge you nothing. Like I really believe like I can help you guys. Like you just have to trust me.
even if you don't even want to go to psychedelic route or anything like that.
I didn't say that.
Or just
I didn't
something
say
like that.
Don't call me out.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking of, I mean, in general, just it's hard to come out to people, I guess.
It is hard.
But I mean, I don't know. Just as the great philosopher Jerry Springer once said, "Take care of ourselves, and let's take care of each other."
There you go, guys.
That's Jerry Springer for all my millennials.
Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
That's it. That comes from one of the most violent TV shows on the planet. Like that is
A good message.
that's the best message I can give right now.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us on this very long episode on mental health.
Hell yeah.
We'll catch you guys next week on Tuesday. I don't know what we're talking about, but
We'll figure it out.
we'll do something good.
All right.
All right, guys. Peace out. Adios.
See you guys.